ईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। गजानना हे गजानना गजानना हे गजानना गौरीतनया गजानना गौरीतनया गजानना गजानना हे गजानना हे शिवनंदन जय जगवंदन हे शिवनंदन जय जगवंदन विद्या बुद्धि प्रदायका विद्या बुद्धि प्रदायका परम निरंजन मूषिक वाहन परम निरंजन मूषिक वाहन पतिपुरीश्वर गजानना पतिपुरीश्वर गजानना गजानना हे गजानना गौरीतनया गजानना गजानना हे गजानना हे शिवनंदन जय जगवंदन विद्या बुद्धि प्रदाय अंजन मूषिक वाहन पतिपुरीश्वर गजानना पतिपुरीश्वर गजानना गजानना हे गजानना शिरडीपुरीश्वर हर गिरिधर शिरडीपुरीश्वर जयपतीश्वर साई शिवा ईश्वर साई शिवा गुरुदेवा गुरु गोविंदा गुरुदेवा गुरु गोविंदा सुंदर रूपा श्री साई देवा साई देवा भई देहि मोहन नारायणा भई देहि मोहन नारायणा शिरडीपुरीश्वर जयपतीश्वर साई शिवा गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा सुंदर रूपा श्री साई देवा वै देहि मोहन नारायणा वै देहि मोहन नारायणा वै देहि मोहन नारायणा गुरुदेवा
Om Shri Sai Ram. Offering our most humble salutations at the lotus feet of Bhagawan. We are doing this session today on Bhajan Guidelines, and what is the importance of Shruthi in bhajan singing. So before we start, we'll start with one small invocation by Swami.
सर्वरूपधरं शान्तं सर्वनामधरं शिवम् सच्चिदानन्दरूपम् अद्वैतम् सर्वरूपधरं शान्तं सर्वनामधरं शिवम् सच्चिदानन्दरूपम् अद्वैतम् सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरम् सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरम्.
ಸೊ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಸಭೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಲ್ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್. ಸೊ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಸಭೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಭಜನ್ ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಯ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಹಾಗೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸಂಪ್ರದಾಯವಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಭಜನ್ ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಏನು, ಇದ್ರದ್ದು ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಏನು, ಇದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಬಂತು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮೊದಲು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬೇಕು ಇದು ಶುರು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಇನ್ವೈಟ್ ಸುಂದರ್ ಸರ್, ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲ್ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟರ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್, ಟು ಕಮ್.
Om Shri Sai Ram. Offering my most humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of Bhagawan. Dear brothers and sisters, very happy to see you all on this Saturday morning here to know about the aspects of bhajan guidelines and bhajan singing. It was in 2001 that the first bhajan guideline, blessed by Bhagawan, was released. That was followed up with another bhajan guideline, because there are certain dynamics in a bhajan center. So ಅದರಿಂದ ಕೆಲವು ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ನ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ, ಕೆಲವು ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ನ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇರೋದನ್ನು ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಆ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ 2005ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ಭಗವಾನ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಭಜನ್ ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಯಿತು. ಬಾಂಬೆಯಿಂದ ಸುರೇಶ್ ಮಾವಿನಕೆರೆ ಅಂತ ಒಬ್ಬರಿದ್ದರು, ಅವ್ರ ಟೀಮ್ ಒಂದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು. ಆಮೇಲೆ 2013ನಲ್ಲಿ ದೇರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅನದರ್ ನೀಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ರಿವೈಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ಭಜನ್ ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಅಟ್ ಅ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್. ಸೊ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲಲ್ಲಿ ಭಜನ್ ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ರಿವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಆವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಬೃಂದಾವನಲ್ಲಿ, ಇನ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅವರ್ ಓನ್ ಟೀಮ್, ಅವರ್ ಪೀಪಲ್, majorly Vrindavan Bhajan group, both gents and ladies, we were involved and we were instructed to construct a bhajan guidelines, and we formed a small team. Madbittu, we had proposed to the then state national vice president Nimish Pandya, ivaga all India president agidare. So we had sent it him, he had approved it with all India president's approval. It was discussed in a national bhajan conference. June, exactly, this is July, and it was June 2013, 10 years back, we had a national bhajan conference in Vrindavan. Ella bhajan singers, coordinators from all over the country had come, and we had a panel discussion to put forth the proposals what we want to have in bhajan guidelines. Now, discuss ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು everybody approved it in the presence of national president, all India president, national vice presidents, as well as various other bhajan coordinators. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ then it was put for Bhagawan's blessings, then it was released. It was in 2013. Ever since, this 2013 bhajan guidelines is in vogue, and nationally all the samitis, all the bhajan mandlis all over the country, we are all following this bhajan guidelines. So this is a brief about this bhajan guidelines. I look forward for a lot of more interesting discussions on this. Thank you, Sai Ram.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸುಂದರ್ ಸರ್. ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ಭಜನ್ ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸನ್ನು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ we have our brothers from the Vrindavan Bhajan group, we have sisters from the Vrindavan Bhajan group, Mahilas. We have taken inputs from a lot of seniors who have been coming for bhajan regularly, doing bhajans in several centers across internationally and in the country. So we welcome everybody. We welcome all the seniors who are here and all the devotees who are here. And just because we are doing the bhajan guidelines doesn't mean we are also following. It is a training for us also. So we also have a lot to follow from this. So with that we will start. So even before we go to bhajan guidelines, first what has Swami said about what is bhajan before even bhajan guidelines. If food is for the body, bhajan is for the mind. It may sound very simple, but ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ಗಾಢವಾದ ಅರ್ಥ ಇದೆ. ಫುಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಬಾಡಿ, ದೇಹಕ್ಕೆ ಆಹಾರ ಆದರೆ ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಭಜನೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು. ನಾವು ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ we will get the guidelines by ourselves, what we should do and what we should not do as bhajan. What has Swami said about bhajan singing? Bhajan singing is, Swami has said, should be like this. Bharata anta helidare. Bha is bhava. Bhava is thought of the divine form. ಹಾಡುವಾಗ ಅದರದ್ದು ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ we have to think about what we are singing, the meaning of what we are singing, with that feeling. ರಾಗ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್, ರಾಗ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಆ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ರಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಬರಬೇಕು. ರಾಗ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ತಾಳ is the deed of clapping. What we say as clapping is karatala. So bhajan singing, Swami has said, is the unity of thought, word and deed. Thought, word and deed. ಇವಾಗ ಭಜನ್ ಸಿಂಗಿಂಗ್ನ ನಾವು ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಮೂರು. ಒಂದು, ಭಜನೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡೋ ಕ್ರಿಯೆ, ಅದು ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಕರ್ಮಯೋಗ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ವಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಸಿಂಗಿಂಗ್ and we contemplate on the meaning. That is jnana yoga is there. Now we are doing the karma, we are having the understanding of what we are singing, then the feeling comes, then the bhakti yoga. So bhajan, that is why it is said Namasmaranam Dhanyopayam. Ella yugagalali, satya yuga, treta yuga, dwapara yuga, kali yugadalli, ella yugagalali ಸುಲಭವಾದ ರೀತಿ ನಮಗೆ ಮೋಕ್ಷ ಸಿಗಕ್ಕೆ ರೀತಿ ಏನು ಇಸ್ ನಾಮಸ್ಮರಣೆ. ಸೊ ನಾಮಸ್ಮರಣ ಬಹಳ ಸುಲಭವಾದ ದಾರಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಮೂರು ಕರ್ಮ, ಜ್ಞಾನ, ಭಕ್ತಿ, ಮೂರು ಯೋಗಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕಂಡ್ಕೋಬೋದು. ನೌ ಈವನ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ವಿ ಗೋ ಟು ಭಜನ್ ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್, ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್, ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಫಸ್ಟು ಭಜನೆಗೆ ಬಂದು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ವೈ ಡು ವಿ ಕಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ಭಜನ್? ಯಾತಕ್ಕೆ ಭಜನೆಗೆ ಬರ್ತೀವಿ? ಪೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೈಂಡ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ. ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಹೈಯರ್ ವೈಬ್ರೇಷನ್ಸ್. ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಕಾರಣವಾಗಿರುವಂತಹ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಈಸ್ ಸೀಟೆಡ್. ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಈಸ್ ಸೀಟೆಡ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಫ್ ವಿ ಕೀಪ್ ಇನ್ ಮೈಂಡ್, ದೆನ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಸಿ, ನಾವು ಭಜನೆಗೆ ಬಂದು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಭಜನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಆಸನದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ದೃಢವಾಗಿ ವಿತ್ ಫೇತ್ ಇಫ್ ವಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಈಸ್ ಸಿಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್, then we don't even need this bhajan guidelines workshop. because all the guidelines become imminent. It comes automatically. If we remember, Swami is seated here. So Swami is seated. Next is, Swami says, bhajan is not kirtan. It is something to go together. It is we together. Sankirtan. It is not kirtan. It is sankirtan. So it is I to we. So ಒಬ್ರೊಬ್ರು I ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ we, and we all know we are all on a spiritual journey. Each person is on a spiritual journey whether we know it or not. So everyone is on a spiritual journey, and then if we also think that I to we, andre we do a journey, spiritual journey together in Sankirtan. So a journey instead of individual, a journey together. Now yavade trip hodre, we will enjoy a trip better if we go together in a group instead of going alone. So a journey together is always enjoyable. ಈ 4 aspects, if we think about them, then our 90% of the job is done in bhajans. What is the foundation for bhajan singing? Discipline is the most important foundation Swami has given for bhajan singing. ಶಿಸ್ತು. ನಾವು ಶಿಸ್ತಿನ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ರೂಪಗಳಿದೆ, ಆಕಾರಗಳಿದೆ, ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಟು ದಟ್ ಸ್ಲೋಲಿ. ಡಿಸಿಪ್ಲಿನ್, ಎಂಥೂಸಿಯಾಸಮ್. ನಾವು ಹೋಗಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಭಜನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಬಾರ್ದು. ನಾವು ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಎಂಥೂಸಿಯಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಭಜನ್. ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಗೋ ಎಂಥೂಸಿಯಾಸ್ಟಿಕಲಿ ಟು ಭಜನ್. ಇವತ್ತೊಂದು ಮುಗಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದುಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಈ ವಾರದ ಕೆಲಸ ಆಗೋಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋಬಾರ್ದು. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಎಂಥೂಸಿಯಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಭಜನ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಆ್ಯಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಇನ್ ಭಜನ್. So we will come to all these aspects slowly. Now, Swami has given this guidance. What is Kirtan? What is Sankirtan? We will hear in Swami's voice.
Samyak Kirtanam iti Sankirtanam. కీర్తనమునకు సంకీర్తనమునకు ఎంతయో వ్యత్యాసం ఉన్నది. There is a lot of difference between these two words. Kirtana representing music, Sankirtana representing community singing. కీర్తన కేవలము వ్యక్తిగతమైనటువంటిది, తన ప్రాప్తి నిమిత్తమై తాను ప్రాకులు ఆడున్నటువంటిది మాత్రమే. కీర్తన is personal, individual, and it is only for personal liberation one sings individually. సంకీర్తన అనగా యావత్ విశ్వమునకే కళ్యాణము చేకూర్చున్నటువంటిది. The community singing confers welfare on the entire universe. సామూహిక భజన అని కూడాను దీనికి పేరు. Another name for this is singing together. ఇది మొట్టమొదట సిక్కుల గురువు అయినటువంటి గురు నానక్ ప్రారంభించినటువంటిది. This was started by Guru Nanak, who was the preceptor and guru of Sikhs. ఈ సంకీర్తన అన్నటువంటిది అనేకత్వములోని ఏకత్వాన్ని గుర్తింపచేయనటువంటిది. This community singing Sankirtana will make people realize the unity in diversity. అందరి కంఠములు చేరి ఒక్క కంఠముగా ఏకత్వంగా ఉచ్చరించేటువంటి భజనకు సంకీర్తన అని పేరు. Bhajan which is sung by all people with one throat is called Sankirtana.
Sankirtane, it is something that we do together. It is a journey together. ಇದನ್ನೇ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಬಹಳ ಸ್ವಾರಸ್ಯಕರವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇ ಅನದರ್ ಒನ್. ಸೊ ನೌ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಸೆಡ್ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಂಕೀರ್ತನ್. ಒಂದು, ಭಗವಂತನ ಗುಣಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹಾಡುವಂತಹದ್ದು ಗುಣ ಸಂಕೀರ್ತನ್. ಸೊ ತ್ಯಾಗರಾಜ ಡಿಡ್ ಗುಣ ಸಂಕೀರ್ತನ್. ರಾಮನ ಗುಣಗಳನ್ನು ಹಾಡಿ ರಾಮನ ಕೀರ್ತನೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಗುಣ ಸಂಕೀರ್ತನ್. ದೆನ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಲೀಲಾ ಸಂಕೀರ್ತನ್. ಜಯದೇವ, ಸಂತ ಜಯದೇವ ಅವರು, ಅದು ಲೀಲೆಗಳ, ರಾಧಾಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಲೀಲೆಗಳನ್ನು, ಅವನ ಅವತಾರದ ಲೀಲೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ದು, ಅದು ಲೀಲಾ ಸಂಕೀರ್ತನ್. ದೆನ್ ಭಾವ ಸಂಕೀರ್ತನ್. ಭಾವದಿಂದ ರಾಧಾ, ಮೀರಾ ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ವಿತ್ ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್, ವಿತ್ ಡಿವೋಷನ್ ಭಾವದಿಂದ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಭಾವ ಸಂಕೀರ್ತನ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ನಾಮ ಸಂಕೀರ್ತನ್, ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಮಹಾಪ್ರಭು ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿ ನಾಮ ಸಂಕೀರ್ತನೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಸಿರೋದು. ಸಂಕೀರ್ತನೆಯನ್ನು ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಮಹಾಪ್ರಭು. ನಾಮ ಸಂಕೀರ್ತನ್, ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ನಾಮ ಸಂಕೀರ್ತನ್ ದಟ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್. Why do we need Nama Sankirtan? We will also have, if anybody has anything to say, you can say, why do we need Nama Sankirtan? Can somebody tell why do we need Nama Sankirtan? Yatake martivi? Okay, one is to invoke blessings. In some more answers. Direct. ಓಕೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ, ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು. ನಾವು ಇಫ್ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ 3 levels at which Nama Sankirtan will help to cleanse the mind. Okay, all these are coming, but to put it in a more structured way, first ವ್ಯಸ್ತಿ ಅಂತೀವಿ, ಫಾರ್ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್. ನಾವು ಮೊದಲು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ನಾಮ ಸಂಕೀರ್ತನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಮಾರ್ಗಗಳು ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿದೆ: ಕರ್ಮ ಮಾರ್ಗ, ಜ್ಞಾನ ಮಾರ್ಗ, ಭಕ್ತಿ ಮಾರ್ಗ. ಸೊ 3 ನಾವು ಅಳವಡಿಸ್ಕೋತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ನಾಮ ಸಂಕೀರ್ತನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ವ್ಯಸ್ತಿ, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್, ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಇನ್ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುಯಾಲಿಟಿ. ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ, ಸಮಸ್ತಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ. ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್. ಇವಾಗ ನಾವು ರೋಡ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ ಡ್ರೈವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದು, ಈ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಸ್ ಹವ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಕಾರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತಗಲಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಇಳಿದು ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ ಕಾರಿಂದ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಜಗಳಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆವಾಗ ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ಆಫ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವಿಟಿ ಗೋಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ದಟ್ ಹೋಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ feels very negative. So many people are fighting, and then there are another double that people who are watching, and another set of people taking photographs and videos. So there is so much of negativity there. So that is on the negative side. So same thing on the positive side, if you do bhajan, how much of positivity it is going to give for the society. So it is society positivity. And then effect on environment. Swami ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಒಂದು ನಗರ ಸಂಕೀರ್ತನೆ ನೀವು ಆಚೆ ಕಡೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, how the amount of effect it has is equivalent to 10 bhajans that you do indoors. So it has so much of vibrations. ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾಮ ಸಂಕೀರ್ತನೆ ವೇದ ಚಾಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ, ನೀವು ಏನು ಚಾಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಚಾಂಟ್ ಆರ್ ಸಿಂಗ್, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಸೌಂಡ್ ವೈಬ್ರೇಷನ್ಸ್. ಸೌಂಡ್ ವೈಬ್ರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇವಾಗ ಒಂದು ನಾವು ಗಣೇಶನ ಮೇಲೆ ಭಜನೆ ಹಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. If we understand what we are singing, then we are having that feeling of bhava when we are singing. Then ಇದೊಂಥರ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇವಾಗ ನಾವು ರೇಡಿಯೋನಲ್ಲಿ we have different frequencies. ಎಲ್ಲ FM ಚಾನೆಲ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ 92 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ whatever, 98 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್, 101 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್, ಅದೇ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸೀಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So whatever we are singing with that, so that frequency of divinity ge connect agutte. If you connect, then the connection comes. So adikke you have to send those vibrations to the environment. So adu srishti mele aguvantaha parinama. That is why we need Nama Sankirtan. Now just to understand, just this is just information, namagellarigu gottu, adru we will just quickly see ellelli ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಭಜನೆಗಳು. We do bhajans in Satya Sai Samitis, then we do bhajans in Satya Sai Mandalis and Samitis, then we do in residences of people. There are various other places like other public venues. It can be temples, old age homes, hospitals, prison al kuda ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ wherever positivity is required everywhere. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಸಾಯಿ ಭಜನೆಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಯುನೀಕ್ನೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಾಯಿ ಭಜನ್ಸ್? ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವಿ. ಇವಾಗ ಸಂಕೀರ್ತನೆ ಏನು, ಕೀರ್ತನೆ ಏನು, ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುವಂಥದ್ದೇ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಯುನೀಕ್ನೆಸ್? ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಭಜನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೀರ್ತನೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಾಯಿ ಭಜನ್ಸ್ದು ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಯುನೀಕ್ನೆಸ್? ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಮೊದಲು ತಮ್ಮ ಅವತಾರ ಘೋಷಣೆ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಮೊದಲು ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇ ಭಜನೆಯಿಂದ, ಮಾನಸ ಭಜನೆ ಗುರುಚರಣಮಿಂದ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಆವಾಗ ಭಜನೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನೂ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಹಾಡಿಸಿ ಭಜನೆಯನ್ನು ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಅವತಾರವನ್ನು ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಸಿ ಟು ಫಾಲೋ and it should encourage participation. Sai Bhajans are easy to follow and encourages participation. It encourages participation of all faiths. Swami ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, if you are a Hindu, be a better Hindu, Muslim, better Muslim, be Christian, better Christian. So it participation from all faith it encourages. Then it inculcates a sense of discipline. ಎಲ್ಲೆಂದ್ರಲ್ಲೇ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೆಂಗಂದ್ರಂಗೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಭಜನೆ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. Swami has given a set of guidelines which we will see, all the discipline guidelines. It should be a blissful and enjoyable experience for everybody. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಆನಂದವನ್ನು ತರಬೇಕು ಭಜನೆ. And then Swami says all are equal in the eyes of God, not just the lead singer. Everybody who comes, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ all are equal in the eyes of God. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸೇರಿ ಭಜನೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ, ಸೇಮ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಜರ್ನಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಐ ಟು ವಿ. ಇವಾಗ ನಾವು ಭಜನೆಗೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್, ಇವಾಗ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಕವರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಭಜನ್ ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ. ಹೇಗೆ ನಾವು ಭಜನೆ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವ ಥರ ನಾವು ಭಜನೆಗೆ ಬಂದು ಕೂತ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಇದು ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಾವು ಅನ್ಕೋಬೋದು, ಇದು ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಆದರೂ ಯಾತಕ್ಕೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ತಿರ್ಗಾ ಕೇಳಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ? ವೈ ದಿಸ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ಲಿ, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಸ್ಪೆಷಾಲಿಟಿ? ಒಂದು, ನಾವು we have a lot of new people who are joining the organization, who are coming, youngsters are coming, people coming from different places, coming and joining the organization. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸಾಯಿ ಭಜನ್ದು ಯುನೀಕ್ನೆಸ್ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಒನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೊಸ ಕಡೆ ಭಜನೆ ಮಂಡಳಿಗಳು, ಭಜನೆ ಸಮಿತಿಗಳು ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಎಫರ್ಟನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅದರಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಭಜನೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಹೇಗೆ ಏನು ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅನ್ ಅದರ್ ಆಡಿಯನ್ಸ್. ಮತ್ತು ಇವಾಗ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮುಗ್ದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಮತ್ತು ನಾವು ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಭಜನೆಗಳೆಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಭಜನೆ ಮರ್ತೋಗದೆ ಇರಲಿ ಅಂತ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಆದರೆ ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಬರೀ ಆಡಿಯೋ ಮಾತ್ರ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತಿರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವೋ, ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ನಡೀತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಭಜನೆ, ಆ ಡಿಸಿಪ್ಲಿನ್ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಏನೋ ಭಜನೆ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಒಂದು ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಬರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಯಾರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಅದನ್ನು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇನ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರೂ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಇವಾಗ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬಂದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ, ಸೊ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಮೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಇಟ್ ಅ ಲಿಟಲ್, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇಟ್ ಹಸ್ ಗಾಟ್ ಲಿಟಲ್ ಡೈಲ್ಯೂಟೆಡ್ ಗೈಡ್ಲೈನ್, ಇದು ಡಿಸಿಪ್ಲಿನ್. ಸೊ ಟು ರೀಇನ್ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಡಿಸಿಪ್ಲಿನ್, we wanted to go back and then we want to tell you what Swami has conveyed. Now I'll request brother Raghu to explain on all the bhajan arrangements that we have to do as per the guidelines.
Sai Ram to all of you who are present here. Pranams at lotus feet of Bhagawan. So, bhajan arrangements plays a very important role. Whenever we have bhajans at our residences or at the centers, it's very important to follow the instructions laid down. So, bhajan hall and Swami's altar have to be ready at least 30 minutes before we start the sessions. Very important. 30 minutes before the session starts, please ensure the altars are set up for Swami. That is one. Gents and ladies to sit separately with a pathway. As you see, there's a pathway laid already here. So, gents separately, ladies separately, it's a must. So, when after the gents and ladies are seated, ensure that the main singers along with the instrument players and the coordinators should be sitting in the front row to coordinate the bhajan sessions. Bhagawan's photo should be placed a little higher, in a place where people can be visibly seen. As you see here, the dais is kept and all of you are able to visibly see and pray to Swami. It's very important. At the residence process also, please put on a higher dais where you can put some arrangements which can be kept. The Swami is visible to everybody when people are seated down. flower decoration. Good garlands to be placed on the photograph of Swami. Please ensure not to overload many garlands to cover the face or the hands or the padas of Swami's photo. Everybody have good, full vision of Swami. Do not get up to add more flowers when bhajan sessions are seen. Many places we see somebody brings, it's put. People should not get up when the bhajan sessions are on. They can be prayed and kept on site. After the bhajan is over, you can place it. That's very important. You feel that Swami is sitting, we should not walk across when Swami is seated. Lamps on either side of the Swami's photograph with good enough oil kept. Again, in between getting up and pouring oil. Please see that enough oil is put and both side lamps should be lit. Mild incense stick can be placed because the smoke what it gets, it may choke the voice. So that's the reason it is mentioned that mild incense stick, not very powerful incense stick, should be kept there. Sarvadharma symbol can be placed, which just depicts represents all unity of all the faiths, as Mr. Ratnakar said. So, unitedly, we are singing for all bhajan, different types of God, you are singing there. So we can place the Sarvadharma symbol on the side, on the altar. Chair for Bhagawan to be placed on the gents side. If you see that it's kept on the gents side, that's a usual practice. And a side stool be kept where Swami's glass of water, pure water, should be kept for Swami every time. And clean handkerchiefs to be placed on the chair, on the arms of the chair. And a clean sheet of cloth can be placed on the chair, on top of the chair you can keep. So after the bhajan session is over, this arati, vibhuti distribution, and you can use your bell at the house, the normal bell you can use. Camphor should be used only, no oil or ghee or something. Only camphor is allowed to use for arati. And keep enough camphor. When you're placing in the where you want to light the lamp there, you please put enough camphor so that it should not close off in between. Please ensure it is kept in good quantity. It's very important. Thank you very much. Thank you. Sai Ram.
ಸಹೋದರ ರಘು ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೆ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸ್. ಇವಾಗ ಸಮ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೀನ್ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸೆಂಟರ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಶಲಿ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಇವಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಆಗಬಹುದು. ಈ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮಿನಿಟಲ್ಲಿ 5 ನಿಮಿಷ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋವಾಗ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡದೊಂದು ಗಾರ್ಲೆಂಡ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಬಂದು ಇದನ್ನು ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡಿ ಅಂತ ಆಮೇಲೆ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ಹಾಕೋದು? ಭಜನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವರು ತಂದಿದ್ದು ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಬೇಜಾರಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸ್. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೆ 30 ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡೆಕೋರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡ್ಬೇಕು. 10 ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಭಜನ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಸೀಟೆಡ್ ಸೈಲೆಂಟ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಆವಾಗ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಭಜನೆ ಶುರು ಆದಮೇಲೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೇಲಿ ಬಿಡ್ತು ರೋಸ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗೆ ಇಡಿ, ಇದು ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಇಡಬೇಡಿ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡೂ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬ್. ಇವಾಗ ನಾವು ಮುಂದಗಡೆ ಕೂತಿರೋರು ಹಾಡೋರು ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, there are a lot of devotees who will be sitting. They have all come for peace of mind. As some of our sisters said, we all come for peace of mind. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಧ್ಯಾನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಟು ಫರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಅವರ್ ವರೀಸ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂದಾಗ ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಎನಿ ಕಮೋಷನ್ ಆರ್ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಸೇಮ್ ವೇ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್. ಇವಾಗ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಮೇನ್ ಫೋಟೋ ಯಾವುದಿದೆ ಸ್ವಾಮಿದು, ಅದನ್ನು ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕೀಪ್. ಇಫ್ ವಿ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಕೀಪ್ ಅದರ್ ಐಡಲ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೋಟೋಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಓಕೆ, ಬಟ್ ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದೆಮ್ ವಿಚ್ is meant for to concentrate. ಒಂದು ಫೋಟೋ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಹಾಗಿರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಯೂಶಲಿ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಸ್ ಫೋಟೋ ಇಸ್ ದ ಒನ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಕೀಪ್. ಅದು ದ ಡೆಕೋರೇಷನ್ ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಸೋ ಮಚ್. ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಗಾರ್ಲೆಂಡು, ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಮಕನೇ ಅಭಯಹಸ್ತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋ ಫೋಟೋ ಇದ್ದರೆ, ಕೈಯೇ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಡೆಕೋರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ? ಸೊ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಕಾನ್ಷಿಯಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ಡೆಕೋರೇಷನ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್. ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡೂ over decorations and how much is required we have to do. So ಎಲ್ಲ ಮುಂಚಿತವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಎಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಭಾಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವಾಗ ಭಜನ್ ಪ್ರಿಪ್ರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಭಜನ್ ಯಾವ ಥರ ನಾವು ಭಜನ್ಗೆ ಹಾಡಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ಥರ ನಾವು ಕೂತ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಅದರದ್ದು ಡಿಸಿಪ್ಲಿನ್ ಏನು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಸಹೋದರ ಶೇಖರ್ ಅವರು ನಮಗೆ ಈಗ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ.
ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಸಾಯಿರಾಮ್. offering my most humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Swami. I would just like to start by reiterating what Sundar sir said at the beginning. Okay, so the bhajan guidelines have not come up one fine day, one fine morning, one senior devotee decided that this should be the set of guidelines. These have been carefully considered, and many of what is there in the bhajan guidelines is actually directly from Swami. So what we are sharing, what Ratnakar brother is sharing, what brother Raghu has shared, what is there in the bhajan guidelines is directly from Swami. Or we've also had many senior devotees, experiences with senior devotees who have shared what Swami has told about bhajans, and that's what we are going to be sharing today. That's what we are sharing. And what we also would like to do is also share some of our experiences of having been part of the Vrindavan Bhajan group. Some of us have been part of the group for close to 30 years now. So what we are sharing is also some of the experiences from that session. Okay. So when we talk about seating, Swami, in an interview given to the Vrindavan Bhajan group in 1994, he told us that all singers should be seated at least 10 to 15 minutes prior to the commencement of bhajan. He specifically told us that you should not be coming to the bhajan session as if you are coming from a market. This is the specific words that Swami used during that interview. So why is it that Swami is telling? Why is it that we need to be present at least 10 minutes, 15 minutes prior to the commencement of the bhajan session? That is because once you come and sit, you practice silence, sit, we can attune our mind so that right from the commencement of the bhajan, we can focus on Swami. Okay. If you are rushing at the last minute, so many other things, keeping aside, some of the mahilas may be rushing from kitchen, some of us may be rushing from work, the gen side. If we do not come on time, our minds will not be attuned to singing bhajans at the start of the session. Okay, that is why it is very important to be present right at the start. Be there at least 10 minutes, 15 minutes before the commencement of the bhajan session. Okay. Seating, regarding seating, there should be no seats reserved for anybody. Okay, whoever comes earliest, they should be seated. Okay, where in a bhajan session, when Vedam chanting is also there, that precedes the bhajan commencement, maybe there can be a separate place allocated, if possible, in a bhajan center where the Vedam chanters can be made to sit separately. But bhajan, please do not reserve seats for people who are going to be coming late. If a person is coming late for a bhajan, let them sit at the rear wherever there is a place. Okay. Let a person also, when we are sitting in the bhajan, okay, let us not turn back and call a person, come front. These are certain things that we should avoid. Okay. As much as possible, we should try to not take the attention of the devotees from Swami. The focus should entirely be on Swami during the entire bhajan session. So by doing all this, right, asking a person to come and sit next to harmonium, playing harmonium, or asking a senior person, however senior that person may be, however good a bhajan singer that person may be, let us avoid all this. Let the focus, undivided focus, be only on Swami. Regarding the next important aspect is dress code. All of us, mahilas, gents, should be moderately and appropriately dressed for the bhajan session. Gents should be well groomed, means clean shaven. Okay. Preferably in white attire, so that's an easy thing for gents. But it's not always possible. Sometimes people may be coming from office. But where there is a public bhajan, we should make it a habit that we should only be wearing whites. Okay, that's something that as an organization, it reflects discipline on us. Okay. The next one is my favorite topic. Okay, so PA system is something that should be set up well in advance. Okay. I have seen sometimes people walking in between the bhajans to change wire, change mic. All of this should be avoided. Again, because here we are taking the attention away from focusing on Swami. We are, if a person moves in between, the devotee is, not going to focus on Swami, not going to concentrate on Swami. The focus is going to be on the person who is moving, right? So all of this can be done by a senior Sevadal. A person can be trained. That person can be made to operate the PA system on a regular basis. That person can ensure the upkeep of the PA system. Like how we take care of our instruments like harmonium and tabla, even the PA system needs care. Okay. In between the bhajans, if sometimes our mic volumes are not optimal, let us again refrain from some people do this tapping like this. First of all, it is not good because the diaphragm of the mic will get affected. So we should not be tapping on the mic like this just to check if our mic is working or not. All of us also, right, may not be professionals. The person who is going to be operating the PA system, it may so happen that the settings may not be optimal. So at that point of time, right, the bhajan singer should not be turning back. And this is something which I think even we sometimes in Vrindavan Bhajan group, we make a mistake. Okay, so this is a learning for us also. We are reiterating this for us also. The tabla player, he says, increase the left volume or right volume. All of this should be avoided. Maybe it is not optimal, fine. But once the bhajan singer starts singing, his undivided attention should be on Swami. Okay, so he should not be turning back and singing increase volume and all of that. Okay, like how I mentioned, the PA system needs upkeep. All of us should also take care of our instruments. So it is not that the harmonium player is only responsible for the upkeep of the harmonium. So entire bhajan group is being benefited by the harmonium, right? Or by the tabla. So all of them together should be responsible for the upkeep of the instruments. An instrument should be tuned well in advance. It should not be just after coming for bhajan, just at the start of bhajan, people should not be making a noise. Sometimes they may have a habit of playing, checking Shruthi on the mic when the singer has already started and then changing the instrument. So all of that should be avoided. The Shruthi list should be already available with the tabla players. The Shruthi, the listing of bhajans, we are going to cover that in one of the next following slides. So the bhajan order should be decided well in advance. The Shruti should be available with both the harmonium player and the tabla player. Okay, in this slide we will concentrate on how the bhajan session should progress. What is the order of bhajan? I request Brother Ganesh to.
Sairam to all. All of you have been attending bhajan sessions for quite a long. It's not something new that we are going to tell here. It's for the benefit of new devotees and reiterating ourselves so that everybody who is attending the session is benefited. As we all have to know that this session is not only for the singer, it is for the devotees, it is for the co-singers, for the followers, everybody. So this session of 1 hour, ideally the bhajan session is for 1 hour. So this session, at the end of each session, each one of us should carry the positive vibrations and the purpose of which we have attended these bhajans. So typically in a Sai Bhajan, we start the bhajan with 3 Omkars, which is followed by a Ganesha bhajan. So ideally the Omkar should be in the same Shruti in which the Ganesha bhajan is sung, so that there is no any disturbance in change of Shruti after the Omkaram to Ganesha song. Many centers, they keep a different Shruti for Omkaram and then they start the Ganesha song with a different pitch. It sometimes confuses the singers and it is very difficult for some people to change to the new Shruti when Ganesha Shruti is kept. So after the Ganesha song, it is a Guru song if a guru song which is selected for a day is a fast-paced bhajan, you can also place it at the end of the bhajan session. It's not mandatory that a fast guru song is sung immediately after the Ganesha song. Usually the pace of the bhajan should be from slow to medium to a fast-paced bhajans, so that at the end of the bhajan session we are all filled with vibrant energy. The session should be the entire 1 hour session. Each one of us, the singers, the co-singers and the devotees who should feel the mood of the bhajan, what we are expected to offer to Swami. So after the Guru bhajan, we normally have a Devi bhajan, which is followed by all the deities. The bhajan session should cover all the deities of Rama, Krishna, Shiva, Vitala, and a Sarvadharma bhajan is a must during any bhajans, so that if people of other faiths who have come to attend the bhajan, they feel happy when Allah song is sung in the name of Allah, song is named in the name of Jesus. Even the passerby who is nearby the center, when he sees that other Sarvadharma bhajan is being sung, he is attracted to the center and he may become a devotee to the organization. And we also have to have a Sai Bhajan in between. So the songs covering all the deities have to be covered, depending on which is a slower song. If a Rama song is slower, we sing that slower song in the beginning, and if a Shiva song is fast, we sing it in the end. The bhajan coordinator has to prepare the list, keeping all this in mind, so that all the deities are covered. So suppose gents are singing a Shiva song, it should not be followed that the Mahilas also follow a Shiva song. They should ideally sing an other deity song, so that all the deities, for every one of them, each god is unique for them. Some may have Rama as their favorite god, some may have Krishna as their favorite god, some may have Shiva as their favorite god. So we have to cover the requirements of every devotee. So we have to sing all deities, we have to cover in the song. It cannot be just only Rama songs, it cannot be only Krishna songs, or it cannot be only Shiva songs. Of course, the exceptions are during Shivratri or Gokulashtami or Ram Navami, where the main focus can be on those deities. So the bhajan session should cover all the deities and adequately paced, so that the selection of songs covers the slow to fast paced.
Just to add on to what Brother Ganesh said, few other things to be taken care is in the bhajan session. So, as brother said, where gents and mahilas are alternating bhajans, sometimes it is better to coordinate well in advance, so that the deities are not repeated. If gents are singing Rama, if ladies are singing Rama, let gents follow it up with a different deity. So that is a thing which we can coordinate well in advance by making a list well in advance. After the conclusion of this 55-minute 1 hour bhajan session, we have the Sarvadharma prayer. Sarvadharma prayer, Om Tat Sat. So that is sung. That is followed by 1 minute silence. And then after the silence, we can have either thought for the day or announcements. There are some differing practices that happens. Sometimes, the announcements may be at the end of the bhajan. So those minor variations are okay. Then after that, we have Asutoma. Then Swami's Arti. Arti should be performed in a regular bhajan session only by a male devotee. Okay. Because there are exceptions to it, maybe for example on a ladies' day or for any other Mahilas events, Balvikas events, there can be exceptions that may be made. Okay. After Aarti, then finally we have to conclude with Paramam Pavitram. Paramam Pavitram, I would like Brother Ratnakar to chant Paramam Pavitram once, because we've seen different people chanting Paramam Pavitram differently. So I think, yes sir, you have a question. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Okay. Oh, I don't know if all of you heard him well, so I'll just try to, summarize what you've said. So what sir told was, okay, bhajans, the position of mic should be in such a way that, right, they should be taken care. When probably they are singing a high line with a full throat, maybe they can adjust their level of singing. But as much as possible, right, some of these mics are very, very sensitive. It has to be kept very, very close. If you keep farther, it may not pick up your volume the right way. So that again is a disturbance, right? So the person who is operating the PA system, the mic, bhajan singer is not keeping the mic very, very close, then they will try to increase the volume because the volume is not optimal for the devotees behind. And what will happen is then we will again hear this feedback sound, and that is a disturbance. So that is one thing, keep at a proper position. The shifting of mics should be very, very seamless. That's again a very good point. These are some of the things which we are practicing in Vrindavan Bhajan group. So the seating may be in such a way that, right, the shifting of mics is also very, very seamless. It doesn't disturb many other people. One other thing which we can adopt is, right, when you want to sing a bhajan, when you want to communicate something to the harmonium player, you can communicate that by way of, chits. Instead of calling and then maybe telling Shruthi, keep like this, 2, 2.5, like that, instead of making signals like that, communicate effectively so that there is no disturbance to the rest of the devotees. So those are some of the aspects which he told. And Omkaram, what he said was, when you start with Omkaram, if you start with a full throat, all of us, when everybody sings that, the voice automatically opens up. Sir, did I summarize what you said? Okay. Yeah, ideally, yes. That is what is done, right? If it is possible to coordinate with the ladies, what is the list of bhajans, right, then we can ensure that there is no repetition of deity, no repetition of raga. If ladies are singing a slow bhajan, then you can change, right? If you have a pre-listed order without consulting with the Mahilas group, or they have a list, right, then sometimes again there will be a clash of deities, there could be a clash of ragas, clash of why we will come to some of these aspects, why we have to sing different ragas and all of that later. Okay, Brother Ratnakar, let him chant Paramam Pavitram.
Paramam Pavitram Baba Vibhutim Paramam Vichitram Leela Vibhutim Paramartha Ishtartha Moksha Pradatam Baba Vibhutim Idamashayami Baba Vibhutim Idamashayami. ಇವಾಗ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಏನು, what did we notice? This is one is raga, there might be some variations that we are singing in different places. So we'll make sure that we follow this tune is one thing. Amele innondu very important thing, it is moksha pradatam. It will not be moksha pradhanam. Some say moksha pradhanam, not that they say it without knowing why it is pradatam and not pradhanam. We even clarified with Mani auntie, to whom the composition came, what did you do? What did you compose with? Was it pradatam or pradhanam, and what is the meaning? So pradatam means vibhuti is that which gives moksha. Moksha pradatam. If you say moksha pradhanam means giving importance. Vibhuti is the one which gives importance to moksha. That is not the meaning here. It is vibhuti gives moksha. It is pradatam. So we have to chant that thing correctly. Yeah.
Okay, and Paramam Pavitram is actually a mantram. So mantram is chanted without any, tabla or any accompaniment. So this should be chanted like a mantram, because the introduction of rhythm, I think we from Vrindavan Bhajan group, we were one of the first. We were actually the ones who started playing rhythm when Paramam Pavitram was being chanted. But now we have corrected ourselves. We have learned that it is a mantram. So Paramam Pavitram should be sung as a mantram, not without any accompaniment.
Same even for the Sarvadharma prayer also, Om Tat Sat, when we sing. So if we feel if it is a very big hall, it is getting dragged without this, tumba nidhana aagta ide andre, maybe some one person can slowly play the manjira just to make sure it doesn't drag. But that doesn't mean Om Tat Sat Shri Narayana Jora Kanjara hakond we sing and bhajane tara Subramanyam tara mugspudbardu. So it is supposed to be a prayer. We are saying Om Tat Sat Shri Narayana tu Purushottama Guru tu. Again we think about the meaning. We pray at the end together. This is one mantram, like Vibhuti mantram, we are all singing together. So we are all chanting together, and then we are giving us application to Swami. So we don't do it with beats like a bhajan.
Okay, now we will move on to selection of bhajans. So even before we go to selection of bhajans, we will just take a step back and look at what bhajan can be sung by a bhajan singer. Okay, make no mistake, every devotee can aspire to be a bhajan singer, but not every bhajan singer can sing every bhajan. That's very, very important. So we have to understand what is the level of proficiency of each one of us and decide to select the bhajans accordingly. So that is the most important aspect, that when we even think about singing bhajans. As is mentioned in the slide, so the list should be prepared well in advance. We've been talking about that. We shared that gents and ladies can exchange their lists so that the orders can be finalized accordingly by not clashing deities, not clashing ragas and all of that. As much as possible, sing only bhajans which are namavalis, regularly sung in many of the Sai centers, easy to follow bhajans. Okay, there are certain type of bhajans which we can try to avoid. Okay, there are certain pitfalls which we should avoid here. What are the types of bhajans that we should avoid? Okay, we should avoid bhajans which evoke a feeling of sadness. Okay, I will ask Brother Harish to sing one bhajan.
जीवन ज्योति तुम हो साई, जीवन ज्योति तुम हो साई, प्रेम की ज्योत जलाओ साई, प्रेम की ज्योत जलाओ, जीवन ज्योति तुम हो साई। जीवन के इन अंधियारों में साई दीप जलाओ।
So here what we are seeing is, we are saying जीवन के इन अंधियारों में. Just imagine a devotee who's come. He's got a good news in his house. He's got a job, and he's coming and sitting and following this bhajan. What will be that devotee's mood after he listens to this line? So there are certain set of bhajans which are good to listen, and may not be appropriate for singing in every bhajan session. So these are types of bhajans that we should try to avoid. And there are other types of bhajans also. We have different ragas, right, in which the bhajans are composed on. There are certain types of ragas which, by nature of the raga, evoke a feeling of bhava, or sometimes a tinge of sadness is there. As much as possible, right, a bhajan session should be one of celebration. So it is not that I'm not asking you to sing such type of bhajans, but have a mix of bhajans, have a mix of all ragas. That is what I was trying to tell. So, for example, again, I will ask Harish to sing one bhajan.
Om Jagat Janani Sai Mata, Om Jagat Janani Sai Mata, Omkar Rupini Sai Mata, Om Jagat Janani Sai Mata.
So this is not a bhajan that should be avoided. I'm not saying this bhajan should be avoided, but with minor changes to the way you sing this bhajan, right? With a minor change in your voice culturing or tone, you can change that bhajan from a feeling of, or even by increasing the pace of a bhajan a little bit, we can modify the tenor of that song from being one of sadness to being one of, bhava. So those are the aspects that we should be careful of. For example, if he starts this bhajan,
Om Jagat Janani Sai Mata, Om Jagat Janani Sai Mata, Omkar Rupini Sai Mata, Om Jagat Janani Sai Mata.
There are many bhajans like this. There are many bhajans which are composed maybe in similar ragas. Hare Hare bhajo man Sai Ram bhajo re. Okay, this is a bhajan. This is very, very popularly sung. It's sung in many bhajans. So if we start like this, Hare Hare bhajo man Sai Ram bhajo re, it is like already this rhythm and this raga is very flowers. It's a bit sad in feeling. So then what you are doing to the devotees is actually, the devotees focus from Swami is written. So what we can do is again similarly, Hare Hare bhajo man Sai Ram bhajo re, Sai Ram bhajo man Sai Krishna bhajo re. Okay, so these are small adjustments that you should make. Okay, and you should be aware of this when selecting the bhajans. Okay, avoid slow bhajans at the end. I am wanting again, Brother Harish to sing Hare Sai, because I recently heard this bhajan. So this is how this bhajan, Hare Sai is a bhajan that let him sing and you decide when this bhajan should be sung during a bhajan session.
So it can be sung slowly or fast, but
Preferably, this is a medium speed bhajan. So, Hare Sai, Hare Sai, Hare Sai, Sai, Hare Hare. Hare Sai, Hare Sai, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Sai, Hare Sai, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Baba, Hare Baba, Bala Baba, Hare Hare. Hare Baba, Hare Sai, Hare Sai, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Sai, Hare Sai. Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam Krishna Damodaram Vasudevam Bhaje. Sridharam Madhavam Gopika Vallabham Sridharam Madhavam Gopika Vallabham Sadguru Nayakam Sainatham Bhaje. Sadguru Nayakam Sainatham Bhaje. Hare Sai, Hare Sai, 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 Hare Hare.
So if the bhajan is sung this way, it can even be sung, maybe towards the end of the bhajan, last 20 minutes. Towards the end of the bhajan, if you start this bhajan slowly,
as he said, towards the end of the bhajan, somewhere it's a 9 to 10:30 bhajan, and then there's a 10:20 bhajan. And probably if somebody sung like Gangadhara, Hara Gangadhara, and then after that we sing Hare Sai, Hare Sai, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Baba, Bala Baba, Hare Hare. It brings down the energy of the bhajan session. Yeah.
okay? So these are the things that we should watch out for when we are selecting the bhajans. And as is given there, it's all known. I think many of you are practicing here as well in your respective Sai centers. We start the bhajans with slow tempo bhajans, medium speed, and towards the end it should reach a crescendo, so that at the end of the bhajan session, all of the devotees leave with that vibration, leave with that feeling of joy, and connect with Swami. One last thing on selection of bhajans. Please try to avoid bhajans in languages which are not local in that particular Sai center. For example, here in Karnataka, we should not Karnataka, in Bangalore, you can try to avoid singing Tamil bhajans or any other Bengali bhajans or like that.
So as brother was saying, how do you select bhajans? How do you, at what time, what bhajans have to be sung? There are also some things that you still select a fast bhajan, but you sing that slowly. If you sing Radha Krishna Panduranga, that is not the pace of the bhajan. So it is a fast bhajan, you have to sing fast. You don't make the fast bhajan slow and the slow bhajan vilamba. So be conscious on what is the energy that we have generated throughout. Swami has said that your bhajan selection and in your entire session should be like a tick mark. So you put a tick mark like this. You start Ganesha, then it can go slow, then slowly the pace of the bhajans should increase and go to a crescendo at the end. So this is about the bhajan selections. So when we are singing bhajan as a bhajan singer, the bhajan singer should, as our Professor Anil Kumar says many times, and we must have heard, the singer should vanish and the song must remain. It's a very, very nice statement. We have to forget ourselves as a singer. There is no singer anymore. It's just the song. Understand and contemplate on the meaning Now this mind needs something to think. All the time it needs something to think. So that, because it is the job of the mind. So when you are doing the bhajan, what job should we give the mind? Is to give the meaning to think. If we are not thinking of the meaning, what will we think? How is that person singing? Where are they going wrong? What fun can I make of the person? It will think. It is not, if we are not doing it consciously, it automatically happens. So instead, think and contemplate on the meaning. Clap during bhajans, karatala, clap. Swami has time and again said, if you clap, whatever the sparrows, crows, whatever is there in the heart will fly away because of the clap. That means the negativity flies away. So you have to clap during singing karatala. Then follow all the bhajans. We are not performers where we just sing our bhajan and we just keep quiet. We have to follow all the bhajans, because when we say we are singing bhajans, we are not just leading bhajans, we are also following, we are also singing the follow. And then generally follow as per the lead singer. If you know some other variation, during follow, particularly if you have the mic, you add your own variations in the follow, it will confuse the crowd, it will also confuse the lead singer, probably he will not sing the next line. So we have to be careful. And then on the pronunciation, pronounce perfectly. We say this, now we all know, most of us are also learning Vedam, we are also focusing so much on pronunciation in Vedam. Same thing with bhajans also. Pronounce correctly. If you don't pronounce correctly, it gives a completely wrong meaning. I'll just give one small example. We say Sai Natha. Sai Natha. Natha. Just the 2-letter word. Natha. Tha is a Mahaprana. Natha is what? Natha is the Lord. We make it Nada. Do we say Sai Nada? No. It gives a different meaning. Then Nada is sound. It is used in a different way. Then you say Nata. What is Nata? Bad smell. It changes the meaning completely. So be very, very conscious on how you pronounce. Then and generally in pronunciations, we should understand what is the right pronunciation of the word. Ganapati. Ganapadi, wrong. Shiva, not Shiba. Why will this happen? Generally, it can happen mostly because of the influence of our mother tongues. We have to make an effort to understand what is the right pronunciation irrespective of the mother tongue. No mother tongue is wrong. No mother tongue will give any wrong meaning or wrong pronunciations. We should know how to use it correctly. So then that is about the pronunciation. You want to add anything? You want to put this? Then some guidelines for bhajan coordinators. Very important. This is a very, very difficult job. Bhajan coordinator's job is really, really difficult. We have many bhajan coordinators here, so I'm sure you will all agree. One of the most important aspects in bhajans is discipline. Swami has said it is the prime responsibility of the coordinator to focus on discipline. However, discipline should be done with love and with sensitivity. If you say, Sai Ram, please don't sit here. Sai Ram, why don't you sit there? I mean, this is as per the bhajan order. Sai Ram. He said, Neevu beda nim bhajan enu beda, they'll go. So how do we say that my bhajan coordinator is not sensitive? They'll go. So Swami has said, if somebody comes for bhajan and they feels bad and goes away, that the amount of sadness it gives me, there is no other thing than it gives so much. So you should not drive away anybody. In the name of discipline, drive somebody away. Then for a bhajan coordinator, do not expect all singers to be top class. Not everybody is SP Balasubramaniam. So everybody will have their own. All of us have all come in. Not many of us will be musically very, very acclaimed. So don't think that everybody will be top class. See, you have to select the bhajans, help the singers select the bhajans based on what they can sing. As Shekhar brother was saying, what bhajans we should sing, we should select for singing is different from what bhajans we like to hear. Some bhajans is best if we just hear and not try to sing. So we should know the difference. Before even the coordinator tells us, we should first of all know ourselves, but it is also the bhajan coordinator's responsibility to make sure that they do bhajan selections with care. Do not differentiate or idolize people and say that, don't be biased. So, ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಆ ಭಜನೆ ಅವರೇ ಹಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅದು ಅವರದೇ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ಸೊ ಅದು ಅವರೇ ಅದು ಸೀಲ್ ಇದೆ, ಅವರೇ ಹಾಡಬೇಕು. ನೋ, ಎನಿಬಡಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಎನಿ ಭಜನ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡೆಡ್ ಇಫ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು render it in the correct sense. Be inclusive, include all people. See how you can include all people and not say, we don't be exclusive, we include people. And then most important thing, promote a sense of family. So we are all journeying spiritually together, so it is a family.
So as brother Ratnakar said, the role of a bhajan coordinator is unenvious. Okay, so while he is listed, how a bhajan coordinator should be very sensitive, should talk politely, but it is also important for the bhajan coordinator to own the responsibility of the bhajan session. So the quality of the bhajan session is on the bhajan coordinator. So a bhajan coordinator should also be able to stand up and tell a singer that, okay, you are not singing this bhajan well, please choose a different bhajan. That is also very important. So the other aspect is also very important. One thing which, I don't know whether we are running short of time, we are already late, but I'll quickly cover. Who is eligible to be a bhajan coordinator? Okay, there are few aspects. First of all, a bhajan coordinator should be one who should be knowing at least, 600, 700 bhajans which are regularly being sung in many of the Sai centers, Prashant Nilayam. So you should have good knowledge of how bhajans should be sung. So that is one thing. It will be good if the bhajan coordinator knows a bit of music. If the bhajan coordinator knows music, then he can easily tell the bhajan singers what are the nuances of that particular bhajan, where that bhajan singer is going wrong. During a training session, all of that exchanges can happen. Okay. Bhajan coordinator, if he is also trained musically, right, he will also understand, rhythm part, how a harmonium, how a overall session is going on along with the instruments. You should be able to judge the flow and make decisions quickly during the bhajan. If the bhajan tempo is not okay, you should be able to change bhajan without disturbing the overall bhajan flow. So these are all some aspects that we have to be conscious when we talk about bhajan coordinators and who is eligible to be a bhajan coordinator. And last but not least, bhajan coordinator is one who should be aware of Swami's teachings, who is aware of Sai literature, who regularly studies Sai literature. So finally, the aim is to connect to Swami through bhajans. While technicality and all of that is fine, that is also important. As we saw in the beginning, Bharatha, Raga, Thala is also important, Bhava is also important. So to be able to connect to Swami, we need to be able to connect to what Swami is told in his messages.
So, and also one more thing to add is, again, for a bhajan coordinator, it is not about, if say an office bearer, because the person is an office bearer, give the office bearer a turn to sing however he sings, it is okay. No, it has to be based on, it is this bhajan singer is the same, everybody is the same in the eyes of God. Just because somebody is in a particular position in the organization does not mean that even if they do not know how to sing or render a bhajan, for the sake of the public, you give them a turn, but be judicious of how you have to include people. Okay, so now we will see some pitfalls. This is the most important thing. Some pitfalls we will see when we do the bhajans. So classical emphasis during bhajans. See, all bhajans are based on classical ragas, it is okay. But too much of a particular, say, add a complete detailed Carnatic flavor or a Hindustani flavor is not okay. One example In one of our, we used to go for bhajan training across the district, in different districts. So there was one very remote village where we went, and they had, on the gents side, they had a small bhajan, this one that they were offering. And then it was a 30-minute bhajan. There were nobody, most of them did not know how to sing. They did not know about Shruthi. There was only one gentleman who had the harmonium, and then he was the only, I think, one person who knew a little bit of music, but all the others were not so much. There was another gentleman who came and sat with him in the first row. So, and then 10 minutes before bhajan, he came and sat, and they both were conversing something briefly. And then just before bhajan started, that person got up and came behind and sit before bhajan started, and 30 minutes bhajan got over. We told him, I asked him, why did you were sitting there before, and then why did you get up and come behind? So that gentleman who sang with the harmonium, he sang Guru Devaya Namo Namo. So that is in Rag Yaman Kalyan, Yaman. So he said, sir, avru yeno yama andru nanage bhaya agoytu sir, adikke hindgade bandbitvi. So it was funny, but again, if classical, knowing the raga is important, but keep it for your practice. You don't have to display it outside when you come for. So it scared him, and so that's so classical emphasis. Then making actions while singing. See, ನೀವು ಪುಟ್ಟಪರ್ತಿದು ನೀವು ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಥರ್ಸ್ಡೇ ಸಂಡೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು ಭಜನೆ ನಡೆಯೋದು. ಮುಂದ್ಗಡೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹಾಡೋರು ಯಾರು ಹಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತಲೇ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸಿಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್. ದೇ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಡಿಸಿಪ್ಲಿನ್. ಇದು ಆಲ್ ದಟ್, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಸಿಂಗಿಂಗ್, ಇಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಅ ಕೀರ್ತನ್. Then overpowering accompaniments. Accompaniments are there to accompany. ತಬ್ಲಾ ಆಗಲಿ, ಹಾರ್ಮೋನಿಯಂ ಆಗಲಿ, ಕಂಜಿರ ಆಗಲಿ, ಒಬ್ಬರು ಸಿಂಗರ್ಗೆ 4 ಜನ ಡೋಲಕ್ಕು. ಸೊ ಯು ಮೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಮೋರ್ ದೆನ್ ಒನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೂಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಬಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಮೈಕ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, PA system, see how you want to manage the volume. Don't have overpowering accompaniment. It is the singer's voice that has to be heard better. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಗೆಸ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫನ್ ವೆನ್ ಸಂಬಡಿ ಗೋಸ್ ರಾಂಗ್. ಹಿಂಗೆ ನೋಡೋದು, ಹಂಗೆ ನೋಡೋದು, ಮೂತಿ ಆ ಕಡೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಯಾರೋ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಹಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪಕ್ಕದವ್ರನ್ನ ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡಿ ಅವ್ರು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಹಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ವೇ ಆಫ್ ಅವರ್ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲ್ ಜರ್ನಿ. ಸೇಮ್ ವೇ ಆನ್ ದಿ ಅದರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್, expressing appreciation in the bhajan when somebody is singing well, that is also not right. And some more pitfalls for the individual. I have to sing wonderfully. It is correct. I have to sing well. For the sake of Swami, we have to sing well. But it doesn't mean ನನ್ನ ಭಜನೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇರೋರು ಯಾರು ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ನೋಡಿ ನಾನು ಅವರಿಗೆ then it is not sankirtan, it is a performance. So that again, it is the ego aspect. ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಪೀಪಲ್, ಇಫ್ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ 100 people listening, then I'll take a 7-line bhajan. If 4 people are sitting, I'll take a 4-line bhajan. So that is not correct. So how many people are listening? I did not get a turn. This is a very important thing. It is very difficult to overcome this for all of us. Namak turn siklilla. So we are all singing bhajans, we are leading, we are also, even when we are following, we are singing bhajans. Nanak hadak kodle illa, my coordinator is biased, kodle illa. So all that we have to. When we have the speed of bhajans, koneyalli chikka bhajane kotru fast do, shuru alli slow bhajane kodle illa. So all that we have to overcome some of these things. Then on the other hand, nobody is a great singer. All of us have come here to offer. ನಾವು ಹಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದ್ರೂ ನಾವು ಹಾಡ್ದಲ್ಲೇ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಐ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಸಿಂಗ್, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸಿಂಗ್. ನೋಬಡಿ ಈಸ್ ಸಿಂಗಿಂಗ್, ಸೊ ಹಿ ಈಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಸಿಂಗಿಂಗ್, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೂಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಕಮ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ ಭಜನ್, ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಸೇಸ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಪರ್ಸ್ ಸೈಲೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ ಭಜನ್. ಫಾರ್ ದರ್ಶನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಸೇಸ್ ದಟ್ ವೆನ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಪಾಸಿಂಗ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದ ಕ್ರೌಡ್ಸ್ during darshan, my energy is coming to you, and then immediately after darshan, if you go to start talking, then the energy dissipates and comes back to me. Nimge adrinda ಏನು ಉಪಯೋಗ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. Same way for bhajan also, Swami is seated, that energy of the bhajan is there. Immediately after the bhajan you start talking, then the energy is gone. So things like bhajan admel, how was my bhajan, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬಂತಾ, ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಬಂತಾ. And some people are smart. They'll know we should not ask, how was my bhajan? So they'll come and tell you, your bhajan was very nice. Expecting that they will come and tell you, your bhajan was also nice. So we have to keep all those things in mind and not, these are some of the normal things. There are many such things that we do, that we engage in, but just some examples. Amel, your bhajan was wonderful, making others boost their ego. Adella beda. We have all offered the bhajan over. So offered the bhajan, silently disperse after Vibhuti Prasadam. So these are some of the pitfalls. Then when it comes to the prasadam at the end of the thing, so in the guidelines it clearly says focus mostly on Vibhuti Prasadam. Prasadam, Vibhuti is the only prasadam at the end of any bhajan that we want to do. If we want to really give something, then maybe a banana kind of thing is still okay, but primarily it is Vibhuti Prasadam. Avoid focusing on a meal. Ivaga manegalaleಲ್ಲ ಮಂಡ್ಲಿ ಭಜನೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮೀಲ್ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದನ್ನು it will be distracting. ಸುಬ್ರಹ್ಮಣ್ಯಂ ನಡೆಯುವಾಗ ಒಂದು ತಟ್ಟೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯು ಕೀಪ್ ಒಂದು ಇದು ಆನಿಯನ್ ಪಕೋಡ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನೈವೇದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ವಿಲ್ ಕೀಪ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್. ಮೊದಲೇ ಶ್ರುತಿಯಿಂದ ಆಚೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಂಗೆ. ಸೊ ನೈವೇದ್ಯಂ ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ Shekhar brother has covered most of this. You want to cover?
We have covered most of this. The one thing which is written there, practice 100 times, that is something we've also heard from Prashanti Mandir singers. And Swami told us in the interview that he gave to the Vrindavan Bhajan group in 1994, why 100 times? Okay, so the first 25 times is when you get used to the lyrics of the bhajan, you understand the bhajan well. When you practice first 25 times, the song gets, the words you register well. The next 25 times you register the tune, the talam, the other aspects, the technical aspects of the bhajan. That's when we practice 50 times, we are now in a position to technically sing that bhajan. But then Swami goes on, why the next 25 times? The further 25 times when we practice, that is when we will focus on the bhava aspects of that particular bhajan. We can use different aspects of visualization. We can learn how to sing that bhajan. And the last 25 times when you practice, when you have completed finally 100 times, that is when we are one with the bhajan. The bhajan has actually got into our DNA. The modern way of saying, right now, it's got into our DNA that we will be able to sing that bhajan well at any point of time. That is the reason why Swami repeatedly, he is told not just the Vrindavan Bhajan group, he is told to many other, even to Sundaram group, even to Prashanti Bhajan singers, that a bhajan should be practiced at least 100 times before it is being sung in a samiti.
ಆಮೇಲೆ when bhajans were composed, so composers are not those people who are actually sitting and writing bhajan lyrics like in movie songs. It comes by inspiration. Swami gives them the bhajan. They are only instruments. They are getting the bhajan. So ಏನು ಟ್ಯೂನು ಲಿರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಬಂದಿದೆ, so maintain the same originality. Just because we don't understand some meaning, we should not change the words. So the meaning or the feeling will change. So it was approved differently. So it was by Swami, it was given differently by Swami in the beginning. Follow the same thing, don't do it different. So that is the other point. So this as well we covered most of these.
This also we have covered most of the aspects. So conscious of time, so we will move to the next.
We'll just hear.
Therefore, this bhajan singing must be developed in an enormous way by the women.
భగవాన్ కూడాను ఈ భజనలో పాల్గొనాలి. భగవాన్ కూడాను ఈ భజన యొక్క ట్రైనింగ్లు అధికంగా ఇవ్వాలి.
All the men also should give all encouragement for this bhajan singing.
భజన ఎందుకంటే కొన్ని సంస్థ లోపల భజన పాడుతుంటారు, ఈ ఏరోప్లేన్ లో పత్తి పెట్టుకోవాల్సి వస్తుంది, అట్ట పత్తి పెట్టుకోవాల్సి వస్తుంది, అంత అపస్వరంగా ఉంటుంటాయి.
In certain organizations, the way that the bhajans are sung are absolutely impossible to hear.
ఆ హృదయాన్ని కరిగించి కదిలించేటువంటి యొక్క స్వరంతో ఉంటుండాలి భజన యొక్క ఇది.
The bhajans must be such that they can melt the heart.
మనసును చలించేటువంటిదిగా ఉండకూడదు. It should not be that which disturbs the mind. కనుక ఈ భజనలో సరైనటువంటి ట్రైనింగ్ ఇచ్చి అమితంగా కూడా దీనికి బాలికలకంతా కూడాను ట్రైనింగ్ ఇవ్వాలి.
The children and the youngsters should be given proper training in bhajan.
So, bhajan training is the session where, when we come together, and that is when we can experiment, we can try out, we can practice the bhajans. The bhajan coordinator can suggest what are the appropriate way for that bhajan to be sung. So that is where, you can afford to make all these experiments. If you want to try out a new bhajan, it should be first rendered in a bhajan so that all the other co-singers are also familiar with the new bhajan before it is introduced in a bhajan session. So bhajan training session, we should focus on the technical aspects.
So some responsibilities of a bhajan singer. Why do we if we have to sing bhajan, it is our voice. Voice is an instrument. So maintain the voice for singing. You have to constantly work to keep your voice in good shape with different ways. Mita ahar, mita nidra, mita sambhashan. Swami, not mita ahar, mita ahar. So you are duty bound as a bhajan singer. You are duty bound to attend practice sessions. Nanagen practice bekilla, nanaga agle barutte. And direct bhajan banbittu there we will open Vrindamrita map. Which deity do you want? And then start searching the app. That is not okay. So you have to come for practice, list the bhajan and then sing. Some fundamental of knowledge of music will be good.
Yeah. All bhajan singers may not have the same proficiency, but over a period of time you can learn. That is what is the beauty of bhajan singing. So to give our examples only, none of us knew anything about singing 30 years back. The fact that we are part of the bhajan group today is all due to Swami's blessings, and being with the group we have learned. Being with good singers we have learned. We've absorbed from others. That is the best way. That is why we are saying it's important to attend a bhajan training session.
That is the same. Listen.
And that's what it means by listening. So listening and trying to follow, that's when we can also improve your singing.
Then see where you should control the breath. You should, for the sake of taking a breath, you should not cut the lines in wrong places. We'll show one or two just examples to say where if you cut it in the wrong place, it will sound different.
हर हर शंकर सांब सदा शिव ईशा महेशा. Or basically, if I'm not able to control my breath, if the line is too long, then there is a sense of trying to cut the line somewhere where it does not make sense. So I think we'll have to be conscious about understand the meaning, the line that the bhajan is conveying, and then practice in such a way that we give it pauses at the right places so that we can present the song at the bhajan session accordingly. And then we've got this bhajan called Shirdi Sai. Shirdi Sai Parti Sai Humko Dijo Premamrita Dhara Premamrita Dhara. So we can kind of pause and understand. Shirdi Sai Parti Sai Humko Dijo Premamrita Dhara Premamrita Dhara.
Likewise, there are possibilities that the meaning itself can change if you take the pause at the wrong time. Sai Sai Smaran Karo Guru Charanaka Mal Jnana Karo. There are people who, without knowing, they may pause at the wrong moment. So these are some things which you should avoid. So there are exercises which you can do to control your breath. So you should attend your bhajan practice sessions regularly, so where all of this can be practiced.
So practice is very important, riyaz as we call. So in the bhajan, in individual bhajan practice also, and in our regular district monthly bhajan practice sessions that we have also, practice the bhajan slowly. The bhajan may be fast, but for the sake of getting, if there are variations, there are gamakas in between, we should not sing the gamakas approximately. ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಹಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮುಗಿಸ್ಬಿಡ್ಬಾರ್ದು. ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು, ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ನೋ ಇಫ್ ದೇ ಆರ್, ದಟ್ ಹೋಲ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ನೋಟ್. ನಿಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿ, ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಸ್, check with the coordinators, check with the bhajan trainer if it is correct, and then we have to go forward. Some of the things to improve on our voice is you practice, just give one. How long can we do that? Do that, try and do that slowly about 10 times, 15 times. There are other similar exercises. Even Omkaram itself, 21 Omkaram itself is a good practice for us. Then basic Sarale Verse that we have, the Sare Gama Padani Sai Maya Mala Bhoga that we have, we can.
Sare Gama Padani Sa Sa Ni Da Pa Ma Ga Re Sa.
So there are various ways we can go on.
Sa sa re re ga ga ma ma pa pa da da ni ni sa 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 ni ni da da pa pa ma ma ga ga re re sa 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 re re ga ga ma ma pa pa da da ni ni sa 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 ni ni da da pa pa ma ma ga ga re re sa sa re ga sa re ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da sa ni da sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Or initially we start off slowly. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Then probably you could practice in, this is in Maya Malagala, you could practice in, say, Shankara Bharnam, because in Hindustani they teach it in Shankara Bharnam instead of in Maya Malagala. In Carnatic they teach it as Maya Malagala. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Sa sa re re ga ga ma ma pa pa da da ni ni sa 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 ni ni da da pa pa ma 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 ga ga re re sa sa. So you were singing sa re ga sa re. Now let us sa re ga sa re. So it gives you a kind of control over the voice and your raga, because bhajans have so much of variation in ragas.
So any bhajan singer aspiring to slowly improve their proficiency in singing should make sure that they try out all these ways of voice culturing. These are some of the ways that are recommended, but when you attend your bhajan practice sessions regularly, that is where you can have separate time allocated for such exercises, vocal exercises, so that voices can improve.
So there are other ways. So it is there was one guru who was sharing this method of voice. How do you practice your own voice culturing? See, basically the voice box is, it's not, there is no such thing as a box. It is just a space there, and a small, medically, those who know medically will also know. It is like this guru was saying that your voice box is, if you see a cotton seed, hattiya ಗಿಡದ ಬೀಜ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಹತ್ತಿ ಬೀಜ ನೀವು ಕಿತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಗಿಡದಿಂದ, the cotton is all stuck around the seed. So what do they do? ಅದನ್ನು ಒಂದು ಬತ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಹತ್ತಿ ಆಚೆ ತೆಗಿಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ, they don't just pull it out from the seed. It will get spoiled. They'll slowly pull the seed like this. Slowly they have to do that slow process, and then around that seed you get a big cotton ball. So this process of slowly pulling, the seed is like the voice, and culturing is like making the voice. This is the voice box, and making the voice like this. That process of that pulling is that. So one very, very easy one that anybody can follow is just you can hum in your throat. Just give one, just one. So here, you're not even vibrating here, you're trying to push the vibration here because your throat voice box is here. You push it here, vibrate it here slowly. Then come one swara below. We come, then dha, then one below. So because of want of time, we can't do all of them, but this is one method. Just come to sa, ni, da, pa, da, ni, sa. 5 minutes every day in the morning will culture the voice. And slowly, in about 1 week, 15 days, we'll be able to notice a change in our voice. Then Swami also talks about it's not just about singing practice, it is also about physical fitness and mental fitness. Keep ourselves physically fit if we want our voice to be fit. If we are not able to breathe properly, then you cannot, Shirdi Sai, Parthi Sai, very difficult to sing if you cannot keep your breath. So, and then mental fitness, there are many personal conduct that Swami has given. So, personally, how should our conduct be? All these will add to our mental fitness. So, your willingness, your attitude, willingness to participate in any bhajan place or gathering, punctuality, all the discipline aspects, punctuality, silent sitting, meditation, then study of Sai literature, performing seva activities, practice of love and equanimity with everybody. So all these will also add to your mental fitness and personal conduct. There are many things that we have been saying all throughout, and these are again the same point. Silent sitting before the bhajan. After that, silently disperse. Then report your absence to the coordinator if you don't come. All these are discipline aspects that we have.
We want to share some on the bhava aspect. Harish brother will share some.
Yeah. So by Swami's grace, I happened to join the Vrindavan Bhajan group around the 2003 time frame. So I just wanted to just narrate an experience how I was able to develop bhava in order to that presentation of bhajans in front of Swami. So around 2003 to 2008 was when Swami visited Vrindavan. So after 2008 he didn't come, right? So those were the 5 years during which I got an opportunity to sing in front of Swami. So, and the other constant thing that I had was by 2003 Swami had restricted his movements, and then we had all this bhajan group, Sundar sir, Gopal sir, all of them sitting there. They've been there with so much of close interactions with Bhagawan. They've got so many interviews. Swami has instructed them directly. When I joined, I didn't have all that experience with Swami. We were sitting here and Swami is right there sitting on the stage, and then I was like, Swami is so near yet so far. I am not able to reach him, I am not able to talk to him. And Swami had kind of moved away from people. So I had that longing to be with Swami or get that experience with Swami. I knew that it's going to be difficult. Swami is not moving around or talking to people as he used to be, obviously due to the age factor, but I still wanted to have that kind of longing or that reaction from Swami. Yeah, Swami is acknowledging my devotion. So that is when I started having a bit of personal sadhanas. I wanted to understand what is it the students or people or our bhajan group, what are the experiences that they've had with Bhagavan. So I used to read books like Hridaya Vrindavan where students have expressed so much of their experiences with Bhagavan. So trying to inculcate all that kind of what is it that Swami expects out of us. And through that, right, so I was able to kind of visualize and then emote that into the bhajan activities. So then over a period of time, initially when I was singing, like you sing variations, you sing Gopala, Gopala, Nacha Gopala, you sing whatever bhajans you want with how much other variations, Swami, you can't move him. Because Swami wants that devotion aspect. So I was like, Swami, please acknowledge my singing, please show some grace, please talk to me, please acknowledge that I'm present here. So that kind of exercise I started doing. And then over a period of time, right, so it happened over a long period of time. It is not only you emote that bhava during that singing of that bhajan, it's not meant for that Thursday session or for the Sunday session. It's got to be that devotion aspect needs to be there throughout. So over a period of time, I could feel that, okay, one day I just sang, Oh Bhagawan, Oh Bhagawan. Oh Bhagavan, oh Bhagavan, naraj suno mere Sai Bhajan. So because of that continuous sadhana, right, over a period of time, I could see that Swami is acknowledging my efforts. So that is the way I could build up some yearning, because ultimately, what is our purpose of life? I mean, what are we singing bhajans for? Ultimately to merge with Him. So that is our ultimate goal. And He is sitting right there, and if I just keep singing without any devotion, it's not going to serve the purpose. Right? He is omnipresent. He is there along with all of us. He is there right now. He knows everything. So we have to connect with Him, because that is the ultimate goal. So I just wanted to narrate one experience. And then the other thing is, I'll just quickly cover in terms of the selection of bhajans, right? So I think we'll have to be very, very precise, and presence of mind or samayam sandarbham, as Swami says, right? So even if it's a Samiti bhajan, or we're singing in Sai Ramesh Hall or singing in Sai Kulwant Hall, I think that bhajan coordinator or the bhajan group need to decide what is it the bhajans that we can sing. Obviously that maturity comes over a period of time. For example, I mean, we were singing, and then one evening out of the sudden Swami came, and then suddenly we've got Shivraj Patil and some politicians come and sit on the stage, and I started singing Devi Lakshmi Mam Pahi. Swami simply got up, took Aarti and went away. So I think and one thing is, Swami expects that brisk bhajan. See, He wants that energy, and He wants that participation from everybody. So we are singing for the entire gathering, not only for us. So when we sing at home, probably we can sing whatever we like. But here, in a public event, we've got to have that presence of mind, and then make that decision what to sing at what point of time. So I think we've learned all those things singing in front of Swami. I just wanted to share that. Yeah, thank you.
So what Harish shared was a perfect example of how a personal conduct of a bhajan singer should be. So I'll again give one more example here. In the same interview which I referred to earlier in 1994, Bhagawan told us that as a bhajan singer, our conduct outside a Sai center or a bhajan samiti should also be very important. Okay? We should conduct ourselves in a very appropriate manner. I can tell you, that was my first experience of Swami's omniscience, Sarvignata. Those were days, Bangalore, right? We used to have bhajan practice sessions in Vrindavan Bhajan Group in Rajaji Nagar on Mondays, and then we also used to have 2 bhajan sessions, because Swami used to be, we used to have bhajans on Thursdays and Sundays. Sundays we will have morning bhajan, evening bhajan, and throughout the day we used to have Akhanda bhajans. So while attending these practice sessions, some of us, myself, Brother Ganesh here, Brother Raghu here, we used to come back from the bhajan sessions, because after 8 p.m. in Bangalore, right, we never used to get autos those days, no Ola, Uber, so and even the auto fellows used to demand 1.5 times the fare. Okay, so to save on cost, right, unnecessarily money, so we used to come triples coming back. Well, going, of course, we used to go from respective places. During this interview, while Swami mentioned about our personal conduct, he directly referred to us. Some of you singers are going triples, and he looked directly into me. So this is a perfect thing, right? So Swami is watching every action of us, not just in the bhajan center, even outside of Sai center. So our conduct should be in such a way that it is, we did not get any bad name for Swami. I can give one more example. 4-5 years back, when I was traveling out of India, when I was returning back on flight, there was a foreigner who was sitting, and that person was looking at me for a period of time, and that person was sitting next to me in the flight, and after some point of time, that person asked, "Are you Swami's student? Or are you, I've seen you somewhere?" and that person is not an Indian, that person is from Fiji. So imagine, right? So as bhajan singers, and these days are the days of social media, so anything can be widely reachable, right? So we should be very, very careful in our conduct, not just in bhajan session. We should be very, very careful, because people are observing, and because of us, Swami should not get a bad name. That is what Swami actually told in that interview. No, people look at your conduct and they will say, Sai Baba is like this. You should be very careful about your conduct.
So just we have very senior Vrindavan Bhajan group Mahilas also here. A couple of them shared a couple of experiences, and one of the sisters just shared just before this, saying that this is related to bhava and feeling. When there was this bhajan on Guru Charana Kamala Dhyana, so that Charana, and then she wanted to have a view of the feet, the Swami's feet. So when she was singing that, then Swami showed the feet and slightly lifted the gown to show the feet. So it is going to reach Swami. And one more experience was that one of the senior singers here, so she asked Swami, how are we singing, Swami, in an interview. So, and then Swami did not answer directly, but he said, Channagi practice madi. If you practice well, God's grace will follow automatically, he said. It has a very, very strong meaning for all of us for practice. So these were some of the things that we wanted to share again. So we wanted to do a detailed one on Shruthi and harmonium, but we may not do it may be able to do it in a very detailed way because of want of time. But we will skip some of them, but we will show what is, how do you keep Shruti. So in Sai Bhajans, we have two types of Shruti. We generally, if it is classically, then it is different. People can argue differently. But in Sai Bhajans, Pancham and Madhyam, we are used to that. PM we say. So Pancham, Madhyam we say. So this is just a representation of how a harmonium looks. So we're just taking an example on the gents side. So there are, in the harmonium, if you see, there are typically three or 3 octaves. We call them as octave. So it is sthai, we say in Carnatic, we say sthai, in Hindustani we say saptak. Mandar saptak, madhya saptak and tara saptak, or mandara sthai, madhya sthai, tara sthai we say. So if you have to keep, this is a representation of how do you keep one pancham. This is for gents. So one pancham, it says, see, you go one, actually one should be one there in the beginning. In the Mandar Saptak, this should be one here, this one. But this is the middle octave, because this will be too low and people cannot hear. For gents, we keep it here in the Madhya Saptak. Sa, and then we leave 1, 2, 3, and the fourth one will be Pa. We leave 2, and the next will be Sa. This is how one pancham, you keep a one pancham. That is, we keep the swara Sa and Pa and Sa. So why we should know is what is pancham, what is madhyam. ನಮ್ಮ ಶ್ರುತಿ ಏನು ಹಾಡೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. In Vrindamritam we have every bhajan you go, ladies pitch, gents pitch is written. So we should know, if somewhere it is written 1P or 2P, we should know what is that P. PQR ಏನೇನೋ ಬರೀತಾರೆ. It should not be like that. So P is pancham, we should know what is that pancham. So just there are different, if it is one pancham, if you just keep one Sa, you have all bhajans will not be starting there only. There will be different bhajans starting in different notes, even if it is a pancham. We can do this in a more detailed way in our individual trainings, but we would want to just show 1 or 2 examples of how pancham bhajans are. So maybe we will, one bhajan that we will show is Bolo Bolo Sab Mil Bolo.
बोलो बोलो सम्मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय बोलो बोलो सम्मिल बोलो ओम नमः शिवाय.
So this is starting in Bolo Sa. It is starting there. Now there are other bhajans are starting in a different note.
कालातीताय सिद्धिरूपाय योगीश्वराय नमो.
So this is starting in Sa Re Ga Ga. It is still a Pancham bhajan. Why it is Pancham? We can do that in more in detail in our sessions. Then it can start on a higher note.
राधे कृष्णा जय श्री कृष्ण राधे 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 कृष्णा जय श्री कृष्ण राधे राधे.
So this is a quick demonstration on Pancham Madhyam Pancham. So we will go to Madhyam. If you see Madhyam, how do you keep the Madhyam on a harmonium? Sa, leave 2 and Ma. Then 3 and then Sa. Sa, Ma and Sa. So same way. So we'll show 1 or 2 bhajans on Madhyam.
माधव मुरहर मुरली गोपाला. माधव मुरहर मुरली गोपाला. जय गोविंदा जय गोपाला. गिरिधारी मुरारी गोविंदा. घनश्याम मुरारी गोपाला. गिरिधारी मुरारी गोविंदा.
So all starting in Ma, and then but there are Madhyama bhajans which will look like a Panchama. It will start from Saramachandra.
राम चरण सुखदाई भजो रे. राम चरण सुखदाई भजो रे. राम चरण सुखदाई भजो रे.
So this is a quick demonstration on Pancham Madhyam. Same thing we will see some samples on for Mahilas also. Say it is a 5 Pancham. So from the beginning of the harmonium 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5th note will be your Sa. Sa, and then you have 3, leave 3. 4th one will be Pa, leave 2. Next one will be Sa. We'll show one example of a Panchama bhajan in 5 Pancham.
Jore Guru Charanam Bhajare Guru Charanam Shri Guru Charanam Pranamamyaham Shri Guru Charanam Pranamamyaham Sadguru Charanam Pranamamyaham Sadguru Charanam Pranamamyaham.
So there are some other variations. This started in Sa, in 5 Sa it started. There are other bhajans which will start in other notes. We can show 1 or 2 more other examples of Panchama.
Patishwari Janani Patishwari Janani.
And there are some one bhajan on that starts from higher Sa.
Radhika Jeevana Radhika Jeevana
Same way we have Madhyama. This is just a demonstration of 5 Madhyama. How do you keep a Madhyam? Sa, Ma and Sa. Same that we did for Panch. 1, we are doing the same thing for Madhyama. So, one sample of Madhyama.
Ambamandahasavadani manohari Sai Jaga Janani Raghuvira Ranadhira Rama 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 Raghuvira Ranadhira Rama Rama Rama.
So this is a quick demonstration. We wanted to do a detailed one, but for want of time we won't be able to. We will send this reference. So we made this reference. If you want to keep Shrutis for gents, so which number note on the harmonium. So that chart is there. We'll send for gents and for Mahila Shrutis. So this might help when you're keeping the Shruti on harmoniums. Now the next important thing is we are talking about Shrutis and why is harmonium important? So harmonium sound, if you keep sa, so it merges with the voice, with our voice. So it is easiest to match with the harmonium. That's why there are many other ways of keeping Shruti. We have the Tanpura app and many other ways of keeping Shruti. It is not so easy there. For bhajans it is easiest. Harmonium is the easiest. So everybody should have a harmonium in their samiti. And and you should use a harmonium. Now, having said that, we should understand how to use a harmonium. Harmonium irbeku bhajanege anta anbittu adan harmonium anta tagondo, we cannot use it in the wrong way. We should say ellaru nodidive harmonium namage ellarigu gottu. Just a quick introduction. We have those metallic stops in the front. If you pull that out, then the sound comes. Then the bellow is there here. This is the bellow. There is another bellow inside, but we'll not go to all those parts. But outside what we can see is the bellow. These are the keys that we press. These keys will be connected to reeds inside. So they will vibrate those reeds when you pump the air. So this is how basic it works. We don't have to explain it. But how should you use? We all know, we open the bellows and then we pump by pressing the key. Some things to remember is, don't pump without pressing a key. It is like you are inhaling but you are not exhaling. What will happen to your lungs? Same thing. Same way, without pressing a key, don't pump. So you should, and then you should gently pull out the stops. You should gently play the bellows. It should not be like a cycle pump. For the sake of volume, you should not pump. So it will spoil. It is like you're trying to breathe and breathe and breathe. Take all the air inside, your lungs will burst. Same thing will happen to a harmonium. We should not spoil a harmonium by overusing the bellows. It will break inside. So then you should keep it covered, keep it clean. All that we know. There are more details for how to use a harmonium and harmonium Shruti training that maybe we can do it in our individual training, gents and Mahila separate, whatever trainings that we have, monthly trainings, we can do it there more in detail, how to use, how to do our own basic cleaning of the harmonium. We have to give it for service. Treat a harmonium like just another bhajan singer or maybe a child. So that is how we have to treat a harmonium. Otherwise, it will be beyond repair. So these are some of the basic things we wanted to cover. Now we have quite a few seniors here with us. So I'll request Gopal sir to share any experiences that he has had that will add value to the session, and Dwarak sir also, and Sundar sir. It will be nice to hear some of your experiences as well.
Sairam, you had a very interesting bhajan training session here, detailing all the how a bhajan should be conducted and all that. Then, as Brother Shekhar was saying, we had first interview with Bhagawan, the Vrindavan Bhajan group in the year 1994, where he had given some, himself he has guided personally, and regarding how the practice, what is bhajan singing, everything, whatever we have covered now, direct from the horse mouth, we have heard from Bhagavan himself. And that goes very strongly, because that is what Swami expects from us. Now, in the year 1994, as soon as we were called in for the interview, there were about 50 of us, including gents and ladies. Now, Swami just closed the door. He always does for any interview. After everybody enters the room, he just closed the door by himself and then came in. He put on the switch. Now, these are the things we should observe. What Swami, he says, Swami is, my life is my message. So, all these things have to be observed. These are maybe very small things. He himself put the fan and then sat on the chair. Then, who are all of you? Why you have come here? That is the first question he asked. Now we said, Swami, we are from the Vrindavan Bhajan group. We need some guidance from you. Oh, I see. You're all singers. I see. But I don't agree. You're not a singer. You're just 1/4 singer, but 3/4 sinners, he said. You're just 1/4 singer, but 3/4 sinners. Now, why Swami says like this? Because we have to understand who is a singer. Singer means just doesn't mean he comes there, he has got some ability to sing, comes there and then produces something. No. He has got a huge responsibility. Now, suppose we have the bhajan, the singer here, and we have a gathering here. You have to carry the entire gathering along with you. That is the responsibility of a singer. The emotions of all the persons you are carrying. That is why we need the Shruthi, the harmonium, the pitch, the bhava. Swami is bhava priya. So in order, Swami said, when you sing a bhajan, you see that, you sing it, you take all the pains to see that it comes in Shruti, your voice is okay. Why do you do all this? Because when you sing a song, suppose you sing a song like Chita Chora Yeshoda ke baal Navanita Chora Gopal. You need to know the meaning of this. You need to know what is the how the composer has sung, what are the instances, the incidences, how she has composed or he has composed. If you know all that, you can better, the song comes out better. And that is how you carry the people with you. Now, Swami says you are like a conduit pipe. That means between the devotees and Bhagavan, you are just the conduit pipe. That means that the pipe is generally, you have this water pipe, electric wires and all that. But here we have the emotions of all the devotees. You are carrying them to Bhagavan. So when you sing a song, people get trapped in that devotion. Oh, I am hearing a good song. I am able to. They have so many emotions, prayers. All that prayers, they will include the song in you. But at that instance, when you go off in Shruti or something, the tala goes wrong, then you are breaking that emotion. There you commit a big error. You are committing a sin. That is why Swami said, are you sinners or singers? And most of us don't have this kind of attitude. I mean, this kind of understanding. When you are singing, have this responsibility that you should not sin. If you can't sing, or if you don't, better don't sing, or better try to sing it. Practice it and sing. That is your responsibility. So 1/4 sinners, 1/4 singers, and 3/4 sinners. This is what Swami means. So you have a great responsibility. Then regarding practice, already Brother Shekhar has covered. You have to practice 100 times and all that. Then regarding discipline, Swami has told that as a bhajan singer, you should have a code of conduct within yourself. Because that will, all that code of conduct will go into that song. Suppose you have a bhajan session tomorrow, see that you practice the bhajan properly and then come ready for the bhajans in time and all that, whatever the instructions given. But then, when you go, the previous day you go roam about the market and all that, you take some stuff in the hotel, that will create problem in this thing. Now, why Swami is saying this? Because you carry all that emotions the next day also. See, the previous day, we have what is known as chitta. The chitta memorizes, all put in the memory what you have covered the previous day. So, that will all come into your song. So, be very careful about this point. Don't roam about here and there and then come and sit the bhajan. That is not correct. So, that is why Swami says, so all that goes into your song. So, you have to take care as a bhajan singer. This is what is your responsibility. And then one more point I want to say. Now, Swami said, do you know how the song comes out of your throat? How the bhajan comes out? How the bhajan is, the sound is produced? You should have an idea of how the sound is produced. Of course, it goes in very detail. I just want to cut short. You have this veena. You have the spinal cord. Swami said you have the spinal cord where you have around 33 vertebrae and all that. We have also in the harmonium as well as in the veena, the notes, different notes. Now, all the notes that you have in the vertebrae are all the music notes. That means all the notes are covered in the spinal cord, and that is how you are able to produce that song. So take care of your body also. See, so when you take care of the body, that is how. So you should take care of the body, you should take care of your contact, you should take care of your emotions, you should practice well, and then come and sing. So this is how, this is the responsibility of a bhajan singer. So this is, I just want to share this. Thank you, Sai.
Sairam to all of you. My humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of Bhagawan. If I want to talk about bhajans, I think I will be a failure, because every aspect of the bhajans have been covered by our Vrindavan Bhajan Group team. What I would like to share with you is some experiences I had as a Vrindavan Bhajan coordinator, which is one of the toughest jobs you can ever find in a Satya Sai organization. I would like to say that it's like a school graduate has been put as a principal of a medical college. So I was selected as the Bhajan coordinator, and it was initially it was a shocking revelation to me, because one day I was told to take a charge of the BBG. I said I don't have any experience other than singing in the bhajans in the mandir. So, having taken the responsibility, one of the things which I have been exposed to mostly in my professional career is as an administration in charge. So, I thought probably that was what is expected of me. The discipline is one of the things which Bhagawan expects from all of us. So, I try to introduce certain disciplinary procedures in the group. And of course, we had, when I joined Vrindavan Bhajan Group, we had 44 bhajan singers on the gents side, and of course equal number on the ladies side. And we had Mrs. Prabha Sridharan, Parvati Mahadevan, the great, those who have been associated with the Swami for many decades and have been singing before Swami, even when Swami was seated in the Sai Ram shed. So the one good thing about the Vrindavan Bhajan group is it's a cohesive group. All of them have only one focus, to sing before Bhagawan and sing with a lot of devotion. So that commitment was there all through. So my job became very easy. I just have to take care of only the administration part. The technical aspects were covered by many of our Sundar, Gopal, Shekhar, Chandru, several of them were there. But what has happened during my period, I think in my, as a member of Satya Sai Seva organization, I've been associated for the past 48 years now, and that was the golden period for me. The exposure and sitting before Bhagavan and singing in a close proximity was actually a memorable event for me. So we have very talented youngsters in our group. We thought at one point of time, just see, our job is as bhajan singers is not just to sing the bhajans. We also should get involved and create awareness of the bhajan singing to not only the Samiti members, general public. We have very talented members like Sundar, Narayan, several of them, where we had planned for exhibitions, we had planned for devotional music programs, and several aspects. Service activities also we were doing, and hospital duty, etc. So one of the aspects I want to touch for the bhajan singers is we should not stick to only bhajan singing, because the overall performance, overall development of us, as Bhagavan says, see, you have to have the service orientation also in your one of the aspects of your career as a bhajan singer. So what is happening is many of us stick only to the bhajans, hospital duties, all those things were not being done. So we tried to inculcate that, and we had programs of service activities. And before I joined, they had several temple bhajans and all those things were happening. Now, one of the tough experiences I had was we conducted an exhibition called Sai Kirtana Kaliyuga Sadhana. That was one of the first ones we had had. And again, thought process was developed by all the members. It was not single effect, it was a team effort. And they had, the whole program was planned for almost 6 months. It took us a lot of effort to prepare almost 108 charts of entirely about bhajans. This is Bhava, Raga, Tala. We had pavilions different. Many of you would have seen this exhibition. We had Bhava, Raga, Tala and Vrindavan, several pavilions in the Kalyan Mandap. Prior to this, I had an experience which I want to share with you. I as a Sevadal member, I used to get opportunities to do some major activities. One of them was our revered Venkatraman sir, who is no more with us now, had assigned me a responsibility of accompanying Bhagavan from Coimbatore to Bangalore. So I went in the chartered flight, empty chartered flight, and came back along with the entourage of Bhagavan, the students, the relatives of everyone. So at that time, we already had planned for this Sai Kirtana Kaliyuga Sadhana exhibition. So we were not able to approach Bhagavan to take his blessings to conduct the exhibition. I was in the flight. That whole process was actually, I want to tell you something before that, so it's interesting. It's because you have been listening to all the, how much time? 5 minutes? Yeah. We have been listening to all the bhajan related, but let me deviate from that. The flight was about to take off. Bhagavan has checked in, and Bhagavan, of course, it's a chartered flight. There's no question of security check as such, but as a formality, the airport authorities have insisted that everybody should have a boarding card and they should check in. So Bhagavan, it was actually Madurai, Bhagawan had been called by Madurai Chettiar for a lunch. So Bhagawan went. Along with Bhagawan, all the students, relatives, everybody had gone. So the flight was supposed to take off at 12:30. It was chartered flight. There's no schedule as such for that to leave. Bhagawan came back after lunch, along with all the my relatives also came back. But my job was to hand over the boarding cards to each one of them. The boarding cards were already printed. I don't know any of the members except few VIPs. There were VIPs, Bhagavan's relatives are there, Swami's students are there. So all these people are very important as far as Bhagavan's views are concerned. So Amey Deshpande was also with me at that time. He was a student, and Narsimurthy was there, and Ratnakar sir was also there. We quickly distributed the boarding cards. What happened? They all checked in. They went inside and they sat in the aircraft. Narsimurthy sir told me, "You bring Swami's suitcase." Okay, so I had Swami's suitcase with me, and I was the last person to check in. Everybody has gone, seated, Bhagavan is seated, and flight has to take off in another maybe 10-15 minutes. Along with me, the 4 security personnel who come along with Swami, they were also with me. So the suitcase of Bhagavan and these 4 securities, and C. Srinivas was with me. So we were about to check in. I checked in, went in with the suitcase, and came the other side. The CASF police people are checking. One of the security person put his bag. Then immediately that policeman stopped him. He said, "Open the bag." What happened was, all these security people are allowed to carry guns because Bhagavan says, Z security, I don't know what they call it. They all had guns which you carry. So the moment he checked in, he stopped him, and all other 4 bags were also having guns. So Bhagavan is seated, flight has to take off, I am the last person. Then these security people said, "Nothing doing, you can't go." So with the guns in present, so then what happened? C. Srinivas, who was also with me, said, "Dwarak, you take care of it, and I'm going even." So I'm alone. Nobody was there. Nobody was with me to, guide me also. Then what happened? This person, the security in charge, called the ground hostess and said, "Remove all the guns." They removed all the guns from the bags, and he advised them to remove the bullets from the guns. Okay, pack them separately, bullets to be packed separately, guns to be packed separately. You imagine the process that is going to take place for all these things. Bhagavan is seated, flight has to take off. Everything is held up here. And so after this packing business and all over, the security person told the ground hostess, "Put it in the galley, don't give it to them." So that much security has taken place. So then they let us go in. As soon as I entered the aircraft, everybody was seated and I walked in, everybody was looking at me, "What a stupid guy, you're delaying everybody." So I went in and sat in my seat, handed over the baggage to Satyajit. What happened, when the flight took off, after it leveled, I decided, because the Sai Namakirtana Kaliyuga Sadhana exhibition was supposed to happen on 12th, I think, 28th May. No, but we conducted it on 28th May, but originally we wanted to have it on 12th. So they were not allowing anybody to go to Swami. C. Srinivas is seated, Balram sir is seated, Narsimurthy. So all these people, very high fund security happening there. So my seat number was 23. Swami is sitting in seat number 1. So I just took a bold step. We had prepared a letter for Swami in case we get a chance to give it to Swami. So I took the letter, went to the seat number 1. And the moment Narsimurthy, they looked at me, "What are you doing?" All are seated except me. Then I went and knelt before Bhagavan and said, "Bhagavan, we have the exhibition. We want you to come and bless us." He said, "Eppudu?" I said, 12th. So Bhagavan accepted the letter and said, "Manchidi, ne vastanu." Happy. Everybody is. When I came back to Bangalore and told all our guys. So we started preparing for the. I think he came back to Bangalore after Ishwaramba Day in Kodaikanal. So we were preparing, and we brought all the panels from hospital and prepared the exhibition. Just 3 days before, on 8th, I think, 8th June or July. Before? Swami was walking for darshan. He was about to fall. One Rajkumar Jain held his hand and he had a fracture. So you can imagine our situation. We were preparing for the exhibition and everybody said that don't talk to Swami about the exhibition now. You would have seen he had a bandage, had a shawl around him, and he was in a very great discomfort. But after some time, 3 weeks, they allowed us to have the exhibition. So myself and a few of our BBG members, we went and knelt before Swami when he was coming for darshan. And he said, okay, you go ahead and do it. So fixed a date on 28th May. That's when I think Sai Geetanjali had their own anniversary on that day. So we had combined that. Sai Geetanjali members were all singing in the Sai Ramesh Hall. That time Modi had come he was the Chief Minister of Gujarat. He came for Bhagawan's darshan. So he was on the dais along with Swami on Shanti Vedika in the Sai Kulwant Sai Ramesh Hall. So bhajans were going on, Geetanjali members were singing. Yeah, suddenly Bhagawan looked at somebody nearby, Nandagopal or somebody, and said, let's go. We were all ready in the exhibition, Kalyana Mandap, everything was ready, set up, hoping that Bhagawan will come and inaugurate it. Suddenly Bhagawan got up, he told the people to push his wheelchair. Along with Modi, he came to our exhibition. It was very beautifully handled by everyone, BBG members, all sang a Swagatam song. And Swami went around each panel. He went around and saw each exhibit. And when he came to the exhibit of Bhava, he said, this is very important. Bhava is very important in your singing. So the exhibition went off very well. And after that, about 3,000 members of the public came, devotees came and saw it. This is one of the experiences. There are several which we could share because our Vrindavan Bhajan group, with all the talent, they're all very cohesive group, as I said. And they are also very team-spirited. Any activity, we do it very systematically. So thank you all. I don't have much time to talk about. Thank you, Sai Ram.
Thank you so much, sir. I'll just request Srimati Uma Sundar will share one small experience before we close. So I will request Harish to just sing 1 or 2 lines of
Sairam
bhajan before.
Sairam, I offer my humble pranams at the lotus feet of Bhagawan. Actually, ನನಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ರತ್ನಾಕರ್ ಸರು ಆಮೇಲೆ ರೂಪಾ ಮೇಡಮು ನನಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಮೀ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಪ್ರೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸ್ವಾಮಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಟು ರತ್ನಾಕರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರೂಪಾ. ನನ್ನ ಗುರುವಾದ ಗೋಪಾಲಕೃಷ್ಣ ಸರ್, ಮೈ ಬ್ರದರ್ ಇನ್ ಲಾ, ಹಿ ಈಸ್ ಮೈ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಗುರು ಇನ್ ಸಾಯಿ ಭಜನ್ಸ್. ನನಗೆ ಮದುವೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಮೈ ಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ವೇರ್ ಇನ್ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಸ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ. ಬಟ್ ನನ್ನ ಮದುವೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಾದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನನ್ನ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿಯೇ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ಶುರು ಆಯಿತು. 30th October ನನ್ನ ಮದುವೆ, 6th November ನಂದು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ bhajan. Every day evening 6:30 to 7:30 bhajan session. I have to sit and sing because my mother-in-law's prayer, that is because of her prayer I am now in BBG. Because ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಒಂದೇ ಪ್ರೇಯರ್ ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ, ಸುಂದರ್ ವೈಫ್ ಬರುವಾಗ she should be a bhajan singer. that too ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗೆ ಹಾಡಬೇಕು, ಬೇರೆ ಏನೂ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ praying my namaskaram to my mother-in-law. ಸೊ ಎವ್ರಿ ಡೇ ಇಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. ಸೊ ಆ ಥರ ನಂದು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಟ್ರೈನಿ ಸಿಂಗರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದರು. ಆ ಥರ ಹರ್ಷ ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದರು, ವಸಂತ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ, ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ವಿ ವೇರ್ ಇನ್ ಒನ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್. ಅದಾದಮೇಲೆ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಇಂಡಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಭಜನ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರತ್ನಾಕರ್ ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಹೇಳಿದರು, ಹೌ ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಭಜನ್ ಅಂತ. ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನೇ ಮರ್ತು ಹೋಗಿಬಿಡಬೇಕು, ಭಜನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು. ಆ ಥರ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಭಜನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೈರಾ. So gents, they were singing that bhajan in front of Swami was sitting on the chair It was sung by Padmanabhan sir grandsons. They were there actually. They were singing this bhajan. I was following. I have to sing the next bhajan.
हर 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 महादेवा
हर 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 महादेवा
शिव 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 सदा शिवा
शिव 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 सदा शिवा
हर 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 महादेवा
हर 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 महादेवा
ओम नमो नमो नमः शिवाय
ओम नमो नमो नमः शिवाय
ओम नमो नमो नमः शिवाय
शिवाय
ब्रह्मा विष्णु सुरार्चिता
हर हर महादेवा शिव 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 सदा शिवा. Bhajan stops. I have to sing the next song. They have kept the Shruti. I don't know about all those things. I was singing Shiva 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 Sada Shiva Bhado Sitaram Bhado Radheshyam. See, there is a difference. I am singing the Jen Shruti. And Swami ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ನಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಜೆನ್ ಶ್ರುತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಈ ಥರ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ದು ನಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್. But just I hold my hands and pray to Swami. Swami, you only have to sing with, because I cannot sing in the Shruti. So what I learned from that was, when you are going to lead this song, the next bhajan, we should stop. We should stop at the last line. We should not be involved in that bhajan, so we won't get the Shruti at all. That's what I learned. Then Swami made me sing that bhajan, and in Vrindavan bhajanalli ಏನು ಒಂದು ಇದಂದರೆ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಎದ್ದು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವಾಗ ಶ್ರುತಿ ಆಫ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರು ಇದೇನಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಎದ್ದು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಬಿಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಸಿನ್ನರ್ ದೇರ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದರ್ಶನ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ದರ್ಶನಕ್ಕೆ ಕೂತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅವರ್ ಭಜನ್ ವೆನ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಗೋಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಆವಾಗ ನಾವು ಬಿಕಮ್ ಎ ಸಿನ್ನರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಆವಾಗ ಲೆಸನ್ ಆಯಿತು ನಮಗೆ ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ ದ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈನ್. All the lead singers, we should not sing the last line, so that we will be prepared for the next bhajan. ಅದೊಂದು ಲೆಸನ್. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಭಜನ್ ಏನಂದರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಆವಾಗ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಎಂಟರ್ಡ್ ದಟ್ ಭಜನ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ನೋ, ಸೊ ತುಂಬ ಎಂಥೂಸಿಯಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಹಾಡೋದಂದರೆ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟೋಟ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಆವಾಗ ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಒಂದು ದಿನ ನಾವು ಹಾಡಬೇಕು, ನಂದು 6th ಚಾನ್ಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೋ ಬರಲ್ವೋ ಆ ಥರ. ಬಟ್ ವಿ ಆಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಪ್ರೇ, ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಸಿಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ, ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಸಿಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಭಜನ್, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ. ಇದೇ ಭಜನ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಬಟ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಪ್ರೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. ಸೊ ಏನಾಯಿತು, ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಭಜನ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಸಿಂಗ್ ನಟವರ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ರಾಧೆ ನಂದಲಾಲ. So everybody started falling. Then mindali takshana, oh Swami, now you won't get up. Anyhow, you will be there up to till the bhajan stops. But it didn't happen in Swami's this one. ನಮ್ಮ ಮೈಂಡ್ನ ರೀಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ರತ್ನಾಕರ್ ಟೋಲ್, ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಹಿಮ್ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಅವರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್ ಮೈಂಡು. ತಕ್ಷಣ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಗಾಟ್ ಅಪ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಜನ್ ಸೈಡಿಗೆ ಅವತ್ತು ಹೇಳ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು ನನಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು, ಸೊ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಪ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಭಜನ್ ಅಂತ. ತಕ್ಷಣ ಆರತಿ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ರು. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೈಂಡಲ್ಲಿ ಎಸ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್ ಸಿಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಹೋಯಿತು ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಎಗೇನ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ವೆನ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಫಾಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ ನೋ. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಭಜನ್ ಹಾಡಿ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ವೆನ್ ಹಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಚಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ರೀಲ್ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಒನ್ ಭಜನ್, ದಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಹಿ ವಾಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ಆ ಥರ ಆವಾಗ ಪೊಸಿಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಥರ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ನಮಗೆ ಆ ಥರ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ ವಿ ಥಾಟ್ ವಿ ವೇ ಇನ್ ದ 6th group, myself and Raji aunty I think. So we were selected for the Nirupama Guna Sadhana that bhajan. So ladies ಹಾಡುವಾಗಲೇ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ನಿಂತಾಯಿತು. ದೆನ್ ಜೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ದೆನ್ ವಿ ಥಾಟ್ ಓಕೆ ವಿ ವಾಂಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಚಾನ್ಸ್. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓಕೆ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಯುವರ್ ವಿಲ್. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಮೇಕ್ ಅಸ್ ಸಿಂಗ್ ದೆನ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಸಿಂಗ್, ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓಕೆ, ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ. ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ I made my mind like that. But you won't believe, Swami gave that day the chance. 2 ಭಜನಿಗೆ ನಿಂತು ಬಿಟ್ಟು 3rd ಭಜನಿಗೆ he sat on the chair, ನಿರುಪಮ ಗುಣ ಸಾಧನ ಹಾಡುವಾಗ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಬಟ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಔಟ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. ನಮ್ಮದು ಮೈಂಡ್ ಹೇಗಿರ್ತದೆ, ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಇಟ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಈವನ್ ಟುಡೇ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇನ್ ಸಮಿತಿ ಭಜನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಹಾಡುವಾಗ ವಿ ಆಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಒನ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ like how Ratnakar told, and when each bhajan we will think that Swami is there. Yes, he is there. Now also he is there. But we should have that feeling while singing the bhajan in Samiti also. And we should not turn like that and here. And just practice 100 times ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು ತುಂಬ ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅದು. ಅದು ನಾವು ಹಾಡಿ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ವಿ ವೋಂಟ್ ಸಿ ದ ಲಿರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್. ಇವಾಗ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ, ನೋ, ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ ಆದರೆ ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ನಮ್ಮದು ಭಾವ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೋರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್. ಸೊ ವಿತ್ ದಿಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಎಂಡಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್.
Om Shri Sai Ram. It's already 12. Oh, you are going in that. That's the reason why it is extended. It's 12:46 now. Sai Ram, sorry for the delay. I think I wish to compliment Brother Ratnakar and Brother Shekhar and all the other Vrindavan Bhajan group for having conducted this program, a very important program on guidelines for bhajan, because we always all bhajan practices and bhajan workshops and things like that, but we never had a exclusive session on guidelines of bhajans, which is very, very important. My request from the organization side is that, I request all the conveners, all the bhajan coordinators, all the bhajan singers to please go through the bhajan guidelines. Unfortunately, the hard copy is not available. The soft copy can be sent to the conveners by email, and we will also try to print these hard copies. But please go through the bhajan guidelines. It is an exhaustive bhajan guidelines where all the aspects have been covered. How to conduct a bhajan, how responsibilities of a singer, and all the aspects which has been shared since morning. So it is the responsibility of the bhajan coordinator in the center concerned, in the samiti or bhajan mandali, and also the convener to ensure that this bhajan guidelines is properly followed, and so that the devotees feel comfortable, and we offer it together as an offering to Bhagawan. So with this, I don't want to take much time, and I once again I think we all should offer this whole program at the lotus feet of Bhagawan and seek his blessings. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, thank you, Sundar sir. Thank you to everybody for adding your experiences. Our program will not be complete if we don't listen to Swami's words finally, and then we will have Arati. Would like to thank everybody, Ashwath sir, for giving us permission to do it here in Sai Gitanjali, and everybody, all brothers who helped with this, and inputs from everyone, both on Mahila side and the gent side. Thanks everybody for participating. We'll hear Swami's short discourse clip and one bhajan by Swami, and then we will do the Arati.
ఇప్పుడు చూడండి భజనలు చేస్తున్నారు. Now you see we do bhajans. భజనలు ఎన్ని ట్యూన్స్ తో మారుస్తున్నారు. We change tunes. కానీ భావాన్ని ఏమైనా మార్చుకుంటున్నారా? But are you changing your feelings? భావం మార్చినటువంటి భజనలు ఎందుకోసం? Without a feeling, why should you do bhajans? లోపల చూస్తే పశుత్వాలు, animal feeling, లోపల చూస్తే మృగగుణాలు, it's all animal features. లోపల చూస్తే దుష్ట భావములు or bad thoughts. కానీ బయట చూస్తే నామస్మరణలు. Well, externally we chant the name of God. కనుకనే లోపల ఉన్నటువంటి భావములు ఏకించితైనా మారటం లేదు. The inner feeling has not been changed even a trace. భావములు మారినప్పుడే భజనలు చేసినందుకు సార్థకము. And in fact the purpose of bhajans are fulfilled when we change the మనసులు మారితే ప్రయోజనం లేదు. It's no use if humanity changes. మనసులు మారాలి. The mind should change. మనసులు మారినప్పుడే మాధవత్వం అనేటువంటి మనలో ఆవిర్భవిస్తుంది. When once the mind is transformed, you can know madhavatva divinity. కనుకనే మనం భజనలు చేస్తున్నాము. So we do bhajan. ఈ భజనలన్నీ కూడా కేవలము బాహ్యమైనటువంటి రాగ తాళ భావంతో కూడుకున్నామే కానీ నిజమైనటువంటి హృదయంతో చేరటం లేదు. Bhajans our external activities. We go by the tune and ఈ విధమైనటువంటి భజనలు ఎన్ని సంవత్సరాలు చేసినప్పటికీ అది టేప్ రికార్డ్ మాదిరిగా పోతుంటుండాలి. We may do bhajans years and years like a tape record. హృదయాన్ని మార్పు గావించాలి. The heart should be transformed. ఆ హృదయంలో పవిత్రమైన భావములు రావాలి. There should be sacred thoughts in the heart. దుష్ట భావములు, దుష్ట చింతనలు, దుర్భావముల చేత మనసు నింపుకోకూడదు. We should never fill our hearts with wicked thoughts, wicked feelings. భావము ఎంత మంచిదంటే అంత పవిత్రమైనటువంటి భావములు రావాలి. We should have sacred thoughts there. ఆ భావము నీలో ఉంటే రాగములు ఆటోమేటిక్ గా జరిగిపోతుంటాయి. Once there are sacred thoughts and sentiments, naturally you'll get the tune automatically. భజనలు చేసేటువంటి వారు భావాలను మార్చుకోండి. Therefore those that do bhajans must change. భావం మార్చకుండా భజన చేస్తుంటే అంత ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ గానే కనిపిస్తుంటాయి. Without transformation, bhajans become just artificial. వరే ఎంతమంది ఉన్నారు ఇక్కడ? So many are here. ఇన్ని వేల మంది ఉంటున్నప్పుడు thousands are here. నా పాట యొక్క ప్రభావము ఇంత వేల మంది లోపల ఎవరినైనా ఒక హృదయాన్ని ఆనందపరుస్తుందా? Will my song make anybody feel happy? అనేటువంటి విచారణ ఎవరు చేయటం లేదు. No one is thinking that way. తన భావమే, తన యొక్క సంకల్పమే, తన రాగమే తాను చూసుకుంటున్నాడు. ఎవరి కోసం పాడుతున్నావు ఇక్కడ? He concentrates on his own feeling, on his own thought, on his own tune. Then అందరూ వినడానికి చెవులు ఉంటున్నాయి. All are here to listen. కనుక అందరి కోసము తగినటువంటి పాటను మనం పాడాలి. So you should sing so that everybody హృదయాన్ని ఊపాలి. You should melt the hearts of everybody. అట్టి లేకుండా నాకు తెలిసినటువంటి పాటని నేను చెప్పాలనుకుంటే ఇది సాధ్యమా? ఇలాంటి పాటలు ఎందుకు చెప్పాలి? If you decide to sing the song known to you, then why should you sing at all? ఇది స్వార్థము, స్వార్థము, స్వార్థము. It is utter selfishness. ఈ స్వార్థం కోసం నువ్వు పాడేటువంటి నీ రూమ్ లో నువ్వు కూర్చొని పాడుకో. If you are so selfish, better you sing in your room. కనుక పబ్లిక్ లో వచ్చినప్పుడు 10 మందికి కూడా అవసరమైనటువంటిది ఈ యొక్క భజన ద్వారా 10 మంది హృదయాన్ని కూడా ఆనందపరిచేటువంటి భావాలతో మనం పాడాలి. So as we sing in public, we should make the hearts of all those, the entire gathering. సామూహిక భజన అనేటువంటిది గురు నానక్ ప్రారంభించాడు. The community singing is started by Guru Nanak. అందరూ చేరి ఒక్క విధమైనటువంటి యొక్క భావంతో కూడి పాడాలి. All join in chorus with one feeling. అలాంటిది లేదు ఇక్కడ ఎప్పుడు. That sort of a thing is missing today. ఎవరి పాటికి వారు పాడుకుంటూ పోతే if each one sings in his own ఎవరి కోసం పాడావు నీవు? Then why are you కోసమే పాడావు? You are singing for your own sake. 10 మంది కోసం కాదు ఇది. Not for the public. కనుకనే ఈ యొక్క సమావేశాన్ని పురస్కరించుకొని సమయ సందర్భాన్ని పురస్కరించుకొని మన భజనలు కూడాను అంత ఉల్లాసాన్ని అందించేటువంటి పాటలుగా మనం పాడాలి. Basing on the congregation, the assembly, the gathering and the occasion, we should sing appropriate songs. కనుకనే ప్రతి సత్కర్మల యందు కూడాను ఒక విధమైనటువంటి ప్రాణ సమానమైనటువంటి యొక్క దివ్యమైనటువంటి శక్తి ఉంటున్నది. Therefore every good activity carries with it the life sustaining principle. అట్టి ప్రాణ సమానమైనటువంటి యొక్క ఇది లేనప్పుడు పాడి ప్రయోజనం ఏమిటి? Without that life sustaining చేసే ప్రయోజనం ఏమిటి? What is the fun of doing? ప్రయోజనం ఏమిటి? చెప్పే ప్రయోజనం ఏమిటి? అన్నింటి ఎందుకు పరిపూర్ణత్వం అనేటువంటి దాన్ని మనం పెంచుకోవాలి. Therefore we should grow more and more in perfection. భగవంతుడు నా హృదయమనందే ఉంటున్నాడు. God is in my heart. కబీర్ దాస్ చెప్పాడు. Kabir Das said, రామా, నేను ధ్యానం చేయలేను. I can't meditate. నేను జపము చేయలేను. I can't do japa. యోగము ఆచరించలేను. I can't practice yoga. కానీ దీంతో నిన్ను నేను పట్టలేను. So I can't catch hold of you. కానీ ఒక్కటి మాత్రం నా దగ్గర ఉంటుండాలి. But one I have. ఆ సూత్రం చేత నిన్ను కట్టివేయగలను. With that principle I can bind you. ఏమిటి ఆ సూత్రము? What is that principle? అది నా ప్రేమ సూత్రము. That is the principle of love. ఆ ప్రేమ చేతనే నిన్ను కట్టివేయగలను. I can bind you with that love. ప్రేమకు వశమైనట్టుగా భగవంతుడు దేనికి వశం కాడు. God submits himself to the love only. ప్రేమకే భగవంతుడు వశమవుతాడు. God submits himself to the love only. ప్రేమ లేకుండా ఎన్ని గానములు చేసి ప్రయోజనం ఏమిటి? Without love, what is the use of singing? ఎన్ని భజనలు చేసి ప్రయోజనం ఏమిటి? What is the use of all bhajans? ఎన్ని పూజలు చేసి ప్రయోజనం ఏమిటి? What is the use of worship? అన్నింటికి నీ ప్రేమ అనేటువంటి ఒక ప్రాణము. Love is life. కనుకనే ఆ ప్రాణ సమానమైనటువంటి యొక్క ప్రేమను మనం పెంచుకోవాలి. Therefore we should develop love, which is our life. భజన బినా సుఖ శాంతి నహీ, హరి భజన బినా సుఖ శాంతి నహీ, హరి నామ బినా ఆనంద నహీ, హరి నామ బినా ఆనంద నహీ, హరి భజన బినా సుఖ శాంతి నహీ, జప జాన బినా సంयोग नहीं, जप जान
दर्श बिना प्रज्ञान नहीं, दर्श बिना प्रज्ञान नहीं, दया धर्म बिना सत्कर्म नहीं, दया धर्म बिना सत्कर्म नहीं, भगवान बिना कोई अपना नहीं, भगवान बिना कोई अपना नहीं, हरि नाम बिना परमात्मा नहीं, हरि नाम बिना परमात्मा नहीं, हरि नाम बिना परमात्मा नहीं, साई नाम बिना परमात्मा नहीं, हरि भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं, साई भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं, हरि भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं, हरि नाम बिना आनंद नहीं, हरि नाम बिना आनंद नहीं, हरि भजन बिना हरि भजन बिना हरि नाम बिना आनंद नहीं, हरि भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं, सुख शांति नहीं।
ओम जय जगदीश हरे, स्वामी सत्य साई हरे, भक्त जना संरक्षक, भक्त जना संरक्षक पति महेश्वरा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, शशिवदना श्रीकरा, सर्व प्राणपते स्वामी सर्व प्राणपते, आश्रित कल्पलतिका, आश्रित कल्पलतिका, आपद्बान्धवा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, पिता गुरुदेव मरियंतयो नीवे, स्वामी मरियंतयो नीवे, नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा, नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा, नागेन्द्र शयना। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, ओंकार रूप ओजस्विनो साई महादेवा, सत्य साई महादेवा, मंगल आरती अंधुको, मंगल आरती अंधुको, मंगल गिरिधारी। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम, नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम। ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा, नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम, नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम। ओम जय सद्गुरु Gurudeva. Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana 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 Om Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om. Om Jai Sadgurudeva. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय.
परमं पवित्रं बाबा विभूतिं
परमं विचित्रं लीला विभूतिं परमार्थ इष्टार्थ मोक्ष प्रदातं बाबा विभूतिं इदमाश्रयामि. परमं पवित्रं बाबा विभूतिं परमं विचित्रं लीला विभूतिं परमार्थ इष्टार्थ मोक्ष प्रदातं बाबा विभूतिं इदमाश्रयामि. पवित्रं बाबा विभूतिं परमं विचित्रं लीला विभूतिं परमार्थ इष्टार्थ मोक्ष प्रदातं बाबा विभूतिं इदमाश्रयामि. बाबा विभूतिं idamaśrayami.
Sai Ram to everyone. There is this Sai Nama Kirtana Kali Yuga Sadhana books are there. If anybody wants to take and have. Yeah, the one Dwarakanath sir mentioned about the books that we did during the exhibition. So those books are available. If anybody would be interested, can take the books. And we apologies for the delay that we have had. Request everybody to have lunch prasadam and before dispersing. Sai Ram.